BGU PBS YouTube's live streams to hear Lucas Kleinmeyer, Henry Costco, and other Falcon Media Sports Network talent on the call.
88.1 WBGU, your home for Falcon hockey and coverage of the game that is happening today. Ferris State taking on the Falcons in the second game of the series. Falcons took the game 3-1 yesterday, and the Falcons are looking to get a clean sweep over the Bulldogs.
Will move into that center spot, playing with Brett Foe and Brandon Wynot. On the left wing, Talene forces it ahead. Norris gives him a check. McKinley to Norris on a D-to-D pass behind their own goal line. Waters stretch pass up. Dom Ryman drops it down. He had an assist yesterday on the game-winning power play goal by Jaden Grant. Up to the blue line. Crampton with it. Gives it up to Ty Higgins. Higgins the shot in. Freshman defensive pairing there. Gets it in toward Hedquist, and he gloves it and holds on. 15-15 to go in the first period. No score. Crampton, point per game score last season with Spokane in the WHL. Ty Higgins, a point per game score last season in the QMJHL. Both rookie defensemen on this Falcon team. Fired off the side of the net, the Falcons in the O zone. Chris Lee will gather the puck and take it out of his own zone. He'll skate it up to center ice. His pass is intercepted. Now Minville comes up the right wing. Duran with the pick. Minville gives it up to Duran. Duran at the high left wing wheel. He gives it away. Now Stjernberg working in. Slot shot. Score! The Goose worked in, and the Goose scored. 15 minutes to go in the first, and a 1-0 Falcon lead. Third goal of the season for Stjernberg and his third point. And the Falcons lead early here in the Avig Laban Center. Big move there by the Falcon defenseman. The junior now up to 11 goals in his career, his 72nd game played. A very nice player for the Falcons, who missed some time at the end of 2025. Missed the Northern Michigan series and the Princeton series, the final 4 games. Him and Niedermeyer back in the lineup for 2026, and they've made their presence known this weekend and last weekend against Ohio State. Stjernberg with the defensive recovery. Sloan up. Max Martin with the puck. He gets it ahead. Logan Haru forced it out of the blue line to Sloan, but a man offside, so Sloan had to dump and chase. Time of the goal around the 15-minute mark. Dukovic will chase this puck in. It's off the half wall, and Dukovic will get to the puck first, so the icing's waved down. Now in the corner, Ferris State looking to put together some offense. Wynot tips it ahead. Jack Messick will recover in neutral ice. Brett Foe on that forecheck. Wynot pokes it in. Onsides as he's pressed up after the dump. Ferris State with the outlet here to Schleppe. Schleppe in the left wing corner. The alternate captain gives it up to the blue line. Louis with a shot in, and it's blocked by Wynot. Steinman in the net for the Falcons today. Cole Moore had a very nice game yesterday. Earned the first star and the 3 stars of the game here in the Avig Laban Center. 16 saves and 1 goal allowed. Took the win for the Falcons. 2 in a row for him. Ohio State and then Ferris State, but is given rest today. Icing waved off. Connor Levis, a check against Jean-Louis, who gets the puck away. Carter Applejay was ahead. Puck up at central ice. Ryman takes it up. He's bumped by Best. Gives it up to Waters. Waters, he's spun out by Riley Wallach. And offsides is going to be the call against the Falcons. Niedermeyer couldn't hold it in. Just a fraction out. 13:04 to go in the first. 1-0 the Falcons lead. Gustav Stjernberg with the goal. I believe it's going to stand as unassisted, at least as of right now. The 5:10 mark here in the first period. No score yesterday in the first period after 17 shots on goal for the Falcons. So through 4 shots on goal, they're already at a better pace. Best clears it outside the blue line. Jack Blake out there with Stjernberg now. He's dumped into the Ferris State bench. It doesn't leave his feet. Outside of their own blue line, Wallach gets it away. at the blue line himself. The shot in. Blake clears it out to the boards on the right wing half wall. Best knocks it down amid some broken lumber there on the ice. With the puck now. Nice play there by Emerson Good. Good with the puck to the right wing. Good an inclusion in today's lineup that was not in the game yesterday. He was a healthy scratch. Back over to the slot. Jack Blake clears it off the half wall down to the Ferris State end, and the Falcons go for a change there. Some ozone possession time for the Bulldogs. That was few and far between yesterday. Most of the ozone time they had was on the power plays, coming off of Falcon penalties. Up to Braden Crampton, picked off the puck in the ozone. Minville shoots it in, but his stick collides with another, so not too much juice on that shot. Hedquist standing tall has faced 4 shots. He's faced 5 shots, saved 4 of them. Here's Tanner Rowe, a good shot and a save made by Steinman. That's his first of the game. Up to the blue line, Jean-Louis. D-to-D pass to the right wing. Messick the shot in, deflected in front. And farther away, Jacob Badal. Recovery there by Emerson in his own zone, and he gets it out and away. Falcons will dump Duran up to pester the puck. BG gets a change, and Duran will peel off and go to the bench. Ferris State outlet pass. Badal tips it ahead. He won't get there first. That's McKinley that gets there. Schleppe down into the corner. Hodson pins him up. Puck in the right wing corner. Ozone worked free. McKinley's pass swept down behind the goal line. And now up to neutral ice. Here's Hodson down the right wing. He's got Sloan with him. Hodson working in. Good shot. Just missed the iron wide right. A nice one there by number 24. 10 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the first period. Hodson onside to the left side. Max Martin. His shot missed wide left. Beat Hedquist on 2 shots in a row, but missed the cage. Chris Lee behind the goal line. He backhands it out. Ferris State gets open ice with the puck in their own end. Jack Messick, his second goal of the season. The game opening goal yesterday for the Bulldogs. The only goal of the game. Within the first 2 minutes of the second period, they went scoreless. And the other 58 minutes of the game. Here's Trevor Tulane with the puck. It goes up to center ice, played by Niedermeyer. Rappelje looks to get a pass between his legs, and it's stifled by the Falcons, although Ferris State holds on to possession. Now an outlet there to Brandon Wynot. Wynot leaves it back. Brett Foe with the shot there. Out to the blue line off of the carom by Niedermeyer. He tips it ahead with his skate. Wynot another shot into the corner, wide right. Crampton holds the puck inside the blue line. Dumps it down deeper into the corner. Lee plays it out. Foe able to hold it inside the blue line nicely by Brett Foe, number 13. Outlet pass to Carter Rappelje. Down the left wing comes Rappelje. His shot off of the stick of Norris and into the netting. 9:27 to go in the first period. 1-0 the Falcons lead off of Gustav Stjernberg's goal. The Falcons leading here in the Avig Laban Center. This timeout brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. 1-0 Falcons lead on your home for Falcon hockey.
On September 5th, 2025, BGSU men's soccer forward Trace Terry found the back of the net with a spectacular goal within the first 5 minutes of the match to defeat Michigan State 1-0, marking the second straight season the Falcons defeated the Spartans. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call of the goal on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel live stream.
Suarez will look along for Terry. He's going to find Terry. He's going to take it on the bounce. A left-footed shot is in! Oh, what a strike from Trace Terry! 1-0 Bowling Green!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Check out more Falcon Athletic coverage on X at BG_FMSN.
Bowling Green has seen one shot and has made one save today. Cole Moore, the goaltender yesterday. 1 goal allowed, 16 saves, and a win for the junior. He started 3 games in a row and has been given a rest today for Steinman. The freshman is 5-2-2 this season, 2.7 goals allowed and an over 900 save percentage, coming off from Halifax in the QMJHL. His last 2 games started, a win and 3 goals allowed and 19 saves against Princeton, and then another 3-goal allowed game against Northern Michigan, 24 saves and another W. That 5-2-2 record reflective of that. Tyler Palmer at 3-1-1 this season, 2.16 and a 900 save percentage, and Cole Moore with a 2-2-1 record, 3 goals allowed per game and an 8.77 save percentage, but not reflective of how he's played the last 3 games, as he has been a stud for the Falcons, a 6'6" junior leading this goaltender group, and it makes the decision pretty tough each game for head coach Dennis Williams and the coaching staff here to decide who to put between the pipes. 19:20 to go in the first period. Puck into the offensive zone. We're getting a discussion from the referees on where the face-off is going to be placed. It's going to be placed in neutral ice toward the Bowling Green O zone. And to the right of the logo here on your radio dial. The Falcons wearing their all brown today, and Ferris State wearing their white sweaters, red shorts and buckets, and gloves as well. Same jersey combination as yesterday. Puck up at the blue line. Crampton picks it off in center. Fires it in hard into the corner. Hobie Hedquist steps out to play the puck and gets it away to Gavin Best on the left wing boards. Gavin Best riding a 5-game point streak now, along with fellow first line forward Max Edegaki, or at least first line forward yesterday. He is a scratch today, is Edegaki. 5'6", a transfer from Army quite a bit ago, 23-24 season, where he played quite highly, but Edegaki's just as fast as a lot of the Falcons, but a bit smaller. And maybe Ferris State wanting a bigger lineup today. Brett Riley, first-year head coach of the Bulldogs, coming off of Long Island University, as a player he inherited in Edegaki, and him and Gavin Best have been inseparable all season, but are separable today as Edegaki not playing and Gavin Best playing on a lower line. Here's Ferris State up to the blue line. Higgins never got to him. Waters able to keep it in as well. Good plays the puck away to the right wing. Ferris State searching for an outlet pass that they try a lot. It's ahead to Holden Dole. He gets a tip. Steinman plays it out to the right wing confidently. Off the glass up to center ice, and a recovery in their own zone by Ferris State. Chris Lee lifts it ahead. Sternberg behind his own net. Gets it up and away. Hodson, good pass to Jake Sloan. They got a 2-on-1 if they play it right. And the pass just behind Max Martin, streaking. Puck into the corner. Played to the slot by Max Martin. Carrying back behind the goal line. Into the right wing corner. Chris Lee, the defenseman, a Norway native in his second season with Ferris State. Up to the blue line. Working in high slot. Niedermeyer. Slap shot. Save made. Hedquist down behind the goal line. Hodson with it. Back up to Sternberg. His shot in. Deflected away by Max Martin. He was battling in front of the crease there. Quick shot by Hodson is blocked. Battling for the puck again. Penalty upcoming. And it's going to be to the Falcons. Up to central ice. Niedermeyer gets the touch on it. We'll see who it's going to go to. Holding is the call. 7:15 to go in the first period. Maybe Max Martin going to be sent off for 2. Looked like he was battling for the puck, but he's going to get the gate. And another power play going toward Ferris State, their second of the game. Josh Zary to go in the dot against Jaden Grant. Puck never dropped as they get tangled up. Zary pointing at Grant. And Grant will have to be kicked out for Quinn Emerson. Emerson and Grant, Sternberg, and Niedermeyer, the penalty killing unit. A very solid one. Face-off won by the Bulldogs out to the blue line. Xavier Jean-Louis to Rappelj, back to Jean-Louis, and now to the right wing. Brian Morse gives it back to his defensive partner. Slap shot, Rappelj steered into the corner. Not a very strong one. Up to the blue line, Jean-Louis, another shot. Deflected down nicely by Zeri. And puck couldn't be held inside the blue line by Jean-Louis. He was just too far toward the boards. 1:30 to go in the power play. 6:40 to go in the first period. A 1-0 Falcon lead. Gustav Stjernberg's goal assisted by Ben Duran. Quinn Emerson. Best with the puck. McKinley to clear off of the Falcon, off of the Bulldog, back to the Falcon, and they get it away. Brandon Wynot on the forecheck. Rewarded yesterday for a lot of good away from the puck play with his first career goal on an empty net. Still looking for his first to beat a goaltender, but that first goal is a good mark to get to. Off of the stick, into the glass. Jake Sloan into the offensive zone to waste some time. He's tied up. No penalty coming. Looked like it could have been something there on Jake Sloan, shorthanded. He took it into the O-zone. Now Chris Lee working in. His shot over the head of Steinman. A nice shot there by the defenseman, who worked down to about the goal line to make that shot. And the right wing pinned up Riley Wallach. Puck away, cleared down by Bowling Green into the Ferris State bench. We're going to get a face-off in the Falcon end of the ice. That clearing attempt by Minville, just a bit errant, although he made the right choice. 30 seconds to go, and the Max Martin penalty for holding on to the stick. So a penalty kill that's continuing to get better, 86% coming into this weekend. Nationally recognized is that percentage. The Falcons behind the goal line now. Try to get it back down, held inside the blue line. Lead tips it ahead, more like nudges it ahead. It's trickling into the Falcon end. Emerson taken up against the boards. Dole away to the blue line, right wing side. Holden Dole with the puck, down to the right wing. Messick working in, shot in tight, and it's off of the Falcon and farther away. Puck blocked there, up high by Niedermeyer. Cross into the slot, cleared away by the Falcons up to the blue line. Lee holds it in, Max Martin out of the box, and he skates to the bench as the Falcons back up to full strength. Another penalty kill for Bowling Green. 2 successful ones to start this game in the first period. 5 minutes to go in the opening frame. Messick shoots in towards Steinman. He chips it away softly, and it's picked up by Emerson to carry it out. Out into the O-zone. Dom Ryman skates ahead. He was going to get there first, but they wave it off for icing. And we're not going to get a change, so we're going to need another dump before a couple of Falcons can get their shift. The Falcons currently third in the CCHA in penalty killing percentage. The only two teams higher, Augustana and Michigan Tech. Augustana with a fantastic goalie in Josh Kotai. And Michigan Tech a very nice defensive team, as they have been for quite a while. Jackson Niedermeyer with the puck, carries it out of his own blue line, tips it ahead. That'll be enough to get a change for the Falcons. Talene pestered by Dom Ryman as the puck away. Chipped high in the air. Crampton plays it ahead. Slapped up out of the air by Waters. Talene will recover again on the bigger end of people, but also defensemen. 6'5" and 230 is Trevor Talene. Not a big scorer, but a nice defensive player. And an impactful one for this Ferris State team. Back up the ice to the rec. Here's Brody Waters up high slot. He's defended by Brian Morris. Pass over to Foe, but it never lands. Penalty upcoming to Ferris State. They're going to get somebody for slashing, I believe, at 4 minutes left to go in the first, and the Falcons will go into their first power play. Power play percentage, like their penalty kill, also third in the CCHA, 21.4% this season. Only behind Augustana and Minnesota State and the power play department. So the Falcons with an O-zone draw, 4 minutes to go. Their first power play of the game. They scored in the power play yesterday. Jaden Grant, his 7th of the season overall. Here's Braden Crampton at the blue line. He holds the puck in, dumped down to the goal line. Grant in there working for the puck, and it's carried out by Ferris State. Falcons will have to all touch back up. Crampton up center ice. Grant off the half wall. Puck comes back to him off of a couple of skates. The Falcons will have to recycle in their own zone. Brian Morris given the penalty, 2 minutes for slashing. Brody Waters drew that penalty as he took the puck into 3 defenders working in toward the net. Some good skating work as this puck is cleared. Down is Gavin Best. Steinman will have to play the puck. He plays it around to Braden Crampton. Crampton away to Tyler Hodson. Crampton has not scored a goal since November 1st. It's been a while for him. He's contributed positively to the offense of the game. Is staple on the power play. Up at the blue line, Dalton Norris with the puck. The captain to Sternberg. Sternberg down to the right wing side. Tyler Hodson feeds it in tight. And Duran will come up with the puck, and he gets it back up to the blue line. Sternberg to Duran on the left wing, down deep. Gets it up to Sternberg. Open ice. He works in. His pass won't land off of the skate of a Bulldog. Up to the blue line again. A bit out of position there were the Bulldogs, but so were the Falcons. Sternberg back to Norris. Norris with the puck. CCHA logo across to Hodson. Hodson's shot is blocked. Taken away by Xavier Jean-Louis, and he will dump it down. 22 seconds to go in the power play, and the penalty to Brian Morse. Apologize. 2:20 to go in the first period. The Falcons got to move. Up the left wing. Max Martin into the corner. Back up to the blue line. Held in by Niedermeyer nicely as he pirouettes with the puck. Here's Levis to Brett Foe. Brett Foe with the puck again. Brian Morse out of the box. Successful penalty kill for Ferris State. 3 in a row for these two teams. Crampton down to Max Martin. Hit behind the goal line. Messick pokes it around. 5-on-5 again for the next minute and 45 seconds to end the first period. 1-0 the Falcons lead. Simon plays the puck off the half wall. Niedermeyer takes a nudge and gets the puck away. Lisco, the redshirt freshman, newly in the lineup today. He touched the puck there. Marine City, Michigan native. Played for Sherwood Park in the British Columbia Hockey League. Here's Logan Haru. He's rode into the boards. Jake Sloan there as well in the Ferris State end of the ice. $1:15 to go in the first. Why not to hold it inside the blue line? Can't do it. Minville to get it back to his defenseman, Breck McKinley. Up the ice, Sloan tips it ahead. Morse will range back with Haru. They're kind of getting in the way of each other. Why not gets the puck free off the boards in the O zone, but it's cleared down again by the Bulldogs. Relentless pressure by the Falcons. Sternberg down the right wing. He sweeps it in, stopped behind the goal by Hedquist. He's faced 8 shots here on the opening frame, has allowed 1 through. Steinman on the other end has seen 4 and not allowed 1 yet. 40 seconds to go in the first period. Into the right wing corner in the Falcon O zone yet again. Behind the goal line, Jean-Louis bumped up. Puck behind the goal line, out to the right wing. Played up ahead to neutral ice. Dukovic is bumped heavy there. Into the boards by Sternberg, who got back up on his feet, went to play the puck. Ferris State with it, 20 seconds to go. Jean-Louis, stretch pass up, Schleppe. Down the right wing, he's got open ice. Steinman with the save on the shot by Schleppe. In tight again, Rappelje. Now Chris Lee, he's got a beat. His shot, save made. Crosses over to the left side of Steinman. He covers up the puck with 5.6 to go in the first. A big flurry there from Ferris State, and Steinman able to shut it down. Face off to the left of number 1 in net. He stood tall right there. That'll add some shots on goal and some saves onto the board. 5 seconds to go. A face-off play probably going to be put in place here for the Bulldogs, trying to get an even game going into the first intermission. You'll hear from Gavin Gill and Nathan Burkett from the Cooling Center studio for our Rick Crow first intermission report. Jack Blake to his partner Sternberg. Sternberg bumps it up against the boards, takes a hit from Gavin Best. Some late pleasantries exchanged behind the goal line in the Falcon end, but will end the first 20 minutes of action with a 1-0 Bowling Green lead. Gustav Sternberg, his 3rd goal and 3rd point of the season, assisted by Duran, his 14th assisted this season, and Quinn Emerson is 15th of the season as well. Looks like we might have a penalty to Tyler Schleppe after play ended. We'll talk about that in the intermission report and in the start of the second period. Sending it back to the Cooling Center studios. 1-0 Falcons lead on your home for Falcon hockey.
On September 16, 2017, BG Volleyball's Kelly Simon recorded 44 digs in 5 sets against Seton Hall, the second most in program history. This has been history in Falcon athletics.
Since the day I stopped drinking, my life has gotten better and better. I can't take any credit for it. It just seems that without alcohol, I think better, I'm more careful with money, I watch what I say, I don't get into trouble like I did when I was drinking. It's scary trying to walk through life alone, and today I have that very distinct feeling that I don't ever have to be alone again.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
On Tuesday, September 24th, BGSU men's soccer recorded 40 shots against Eastern Illinois, the most in a match since 1996. This has been history in Falcon athletics.
Welcome back to the Cooling Studios for your coverage of Bowling Green State University taking on Ferris State University. Current score is 1-0 Bowling Green up after the first intermission. This first intermission is brought to you by Rick Crow, longtime BG hockey fan and listener of Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1. All right, Burkett. Oh, also, welcome Nathan Burkett to the studio.
Hello.
How we doing today, Burkett?
Can't complain. Had a pretty good day so far. Let's see if the Falcons can have a pretty good night.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Burkett, let's just go over your first impressions of this first intermission. I was wrong. I didn't think the Falcons were going to get a goal this first intermission, but they ended up getting one, and that goal comes from. Can you say that name?
Who's going to? Oh yeah, Gustav Sternberg.
Thank you very much. Anyway, but your first reactions of this first intermission.
I mean, it's typical away hockey for the Falcons. They don't necessarily play the most exciting road games. BG's a little interesting in my mind in the sense that most teams, they play about the same style, home or away. BG, it feels like when they're home, they're a lot more aggressive. They lay a lot bigger hits. When they're away, they play a more safe game. While they are physical, they don't necessarily play as physical. They don't lay as big of hits. They focus on just a strong game, a safe game. And that's kind of the gameplay we've seen so far. The one goal coming from Gustav Sternberg, giving them the 1-goal lead. They haven't really taken an abundance of shots. Yesterday, through the first period, they had 16 shots. So far, they only have 8 as of right now.
8-7 for Bowling Green compared to Ferris State.
They've blocked 4 shots, which is pretty impressive so far, considering the fact that that's their entirety of block shots from yesterday. So good to see them blocking shots early in this game. But yeah, it seems like mostly a continuation of the third period from last night.
Yeah, I mean, and when you look at the stats side by side, it's pretty even. Bowling Green's 8 shots, Ferris State 7. 7 saves from the Falcons, 7 saves from the Bulldogs, face-offs. Everything's pretty much even like the penalty minutes. I mean, 2 penalties with 4 minutes and then 2 penalties with 4 minutes for Ferris State as well. So very evenly matched, even though the Falcons are up 1-0. But this is... We're going to step away for a minute, and we will be back here on 88.1 WBGU, home of Falcon Hockey.
What kind of help does the IRS have for identity theft victims?
If you suspect you're a victim of tax-related identity theft, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn how to prevent potential refund fraud and protect your tax account. At the IRS, combating tax-related identity theft is a top priority, and we are committed to prevention, detection, and assisting victims. And we're working with law enforcement to catch the criminals. For more info, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn what the IRS is doing to help protect you.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
Welcome back to the Cooling Center 88.1 WBGU for coverage of Bowling Green taking on Ferris State. We're going to do around college hockey, around CCHA hockey, and also college hockey because there's a couple of games that I've had my eyes on. Augustana is up 1-0 on Northern Michigan currently right now. That's the only other live CCHA game happening right now. The other game, St. Thomas versus Minnesota State, that's puck drop is at 7:07, and Michigan State taking on Bemidji State, that is also at 7:07. So in about 20 minutes, that puck drop will be happening, and we'll give you live updates during the intermissions of the scores of that game. Other games that I kind of find a little interesting, Michigan State and Ohio State in the third period is currently 1-1. Michigan State being number 2 ranked in the nation right now, and Ohio State, Bowling Green played. They tied 1 and beat them in their series last weekend. Another game that I'm going to keep my eye on whenever that puck drop happens in about 17 minutes is future opponent Notre Dame taking on number 1 ranked Michigan. That game is, like I said, the puck drop will be at 7:07. Just keeping an eye on that. Burkett, you said you had a couple of things you want to talk about around CCHA. What you got for us?
It's important at this point in the season to start taking a look at the standings.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it feels like Coach Willie loves to talk about taking one game at a time, but once you start to hit the halfway point, you have to start to take a step back and see where you're picturing the Falcons and where everyone is. In the CCHA standing. And right now, it's really close for a lot of different teams. Mainly between the top 6 teams in the CCHA, if we look right now. First place is Minnesota State. They currently have 28 points. Just as a reminder to listeners, how the CCHA points work is that if you win a game in regulation, you get 3. If you win a game in overtime or shootout, you get 2. Lose a game in overtime or shootout, you get 1. And if you lose a game in regulation, you get 0. So right now, Minnesota State leads the CCHA with 28 points. In 6th place is Bowling Green. They have 24. So Bowling Green is very, one good game where BG gets a win and Minnesota State loses. They could be right there, right behind the first place team. Also looking at the CCHA standings, in 2nd place, 1 point behind Minnesota State, there's a tie between St. Thomas and Augustana. Behind them, there's a tie for 4th place with Bemidji State and Michigan Tech, both having 25. Then Bowling Green in 24th. Then you have Lake Superior with 17 points. And then another reason to be checking this game, even if you're not a BG or Ferris State fan, for the standings, I'm sure there's a couple of Northern Michigan fans tuning into this game as well, maybe on the side, because there's 9 teams in CCHA. Only the top 8 this year will make the CCHA playoffs. Right now, Ferris State holds on to that last playoff spot with 8 points. Northern Michigan is 1 win away from tying them as they have 5.
Yeah, and Bowling Green, they are in full CCHA play besides that Notre Dame game, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I mean, it's all CCHA. It's the back half of the season, tooth and nail, fighting for those spots.
No bye weeks either.
No bye weeks?
No bye weeks.
No
I checked a couple days ago. No bye weeks till the end. So from now till their final series of the regular season is going to be at Michigan Tech on the last weekend of February. Till then, it's other than the Notre Dame series at the end of January, it's no breaks, only CCHA play except for that Notre Dame series.
All gas, no breaks. And we've talked about it multiple times in the Falcon Media Sports Network studio. Like, the CCHA is one of the most competitive and most evenly matched conferences in probably all of Bowling Green athletic conferences. I mean, anybody can get the edge, I feel like, and it's been talked about more. And we'll talk about it more as the season progresses and how these points start getting closer and closer. I mean, Bowling Green, like you said, they are in sixth place, but they're only 4 points behind Minnesota State, who's in first. So this is where it gets good. This is where college hockey, I feel like, really shows it's what you want, what you expect almost.
In one weekend, the first place team could drop from first to sixth in this current world. If they get swept and BG, or for example, if BG wins both their games, all of a sudden Minnesota State could be all the way down in sixth, depending on what happens.
Yeah. Well, you're listening to 88.1 WBGU, your home for Falcon hockey, and coverage of this Bowling Green State University taking on Ferris State in Big Rapids, Michigan. We will be right back after these messages.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back here in the not the Stroh Center, back here in the Coolin Center for coverage of the Bowling Green State University Falcons taking on the Ferris State Bulldogs. A little update on your pick the stick action. Tyler Kavlitz, he took Quinn Emerson, and Quinn Emerson has a assist, so that's 1 point, right?
Yes.
So Tyler Kavlitz got 1 point so far this game. Just a reminder, Lucas Kleinmeyer took Brody Waters. Tyler took Quinn Emerson. Falcon Media Sports Network representatives took Brent Foe and Jeremy Minfield. By Ben Korak, your play-by-play commentator in Big Rapids, Michigan. Now, Burkett, if you were to pick somebody for this Pick the Sticks challenge, who would you pick for this week?
Well, it's a little bit of cheating since I've had a whole period to watch, but I probably would have gone with Dominic Raimon. He is tied with Noah Morneau, who's injured this game for the most points against Ferris State this season so far with 6. Actually, I believe he's actually up to 7 now. So would have gone with him.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that. Not that it matters for the Pick the Stick, but we'll just keep an eye on that for our own fun here in the Cooling Center, not the Stroh Center. You're listening to 88.1 WBGU. After these promos, we're going to send it back to Ben Korak in Big Rapids, Michigan for your second intermission. You're listening to 88.1 WBGU, your home for Falcon hockey.
Hi, I'm Laura Mahoney from BGSU Women's Soccer Team, and my Falcon 4 favorite summer activities are going to the pool with my friends and spending time with them, cookouts because I get to spend time with my family, tanning because it's relaxing and it's out in the sun, and getting ice cream because everybody loves ice cream.
I'm Ryan O'Hara on the BG hockey team. I got 4 favorite restaurants here. My first one, Frickers, because of the frickin' chicken. My second one, Kermit's, because it's great breakfast food. My third one, The Row. It's great. It stays open late and has great food. And my fourth one is Juniper. It's great to go in the afternoon, and they have a really good name that too.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Christine Erdman with the BGSU Women's Soccer Team. My Falcon 4 favorite Halloween movies are Halloween Town because I grew up with my sisters watching it, Charlie Brown Halloween because I watched it with my family growing up, Hocus Pocus just because it's enjoyable, and Halloween because it's scary.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
I'm Levi Gazaric, a senior tight end, and my Falcon 4 camp essentials are electrolytes, a gallon of water, sunflower seeds, and Nerds gummy clusters. Go Falcons.
I need some extra money. Do I qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit?
Use the EITC Assistant tool. With just a little information, this tool helps you calculate eligibility with ease and accuracy, get an estimate of how much credit you qualify for, and get a printout of your results before you prepare your return or visit your tax preparer. To use the EITC Assistant tool and see if you're eligible to claim a credit, visit irs.gov/EITC.
Whether the Falcons are at the Slater Family Ice Arena or out on the road, the Falcon Media Sports Network is covering them all season long.
Bowling Green with a 1-goal lead here as we head into the second period, the middle 20 minutes of action here at the Avig Laban Ice Arena in Big Rapids, Michigan. Myself, Ben Korak, along with Gavin Gill and Nathan Burkett back in the studio, walk you through that Rick Crow first intermission report. For all BGSU sports news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter, X, also BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook, and go to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel as well, where highlights and everything else, video content, will be posted there as well. So make sure to give it a subscribe. The only goal scored today was a wrist shot from Gustav Stjernberg as he worked in down the left wing side, his third goal of the season, assisted by Duran and Emerson, and that's Stjernberg's first point since November 14th against, guess what, Ferris State, that he had in the Slater Family Ice Arena. That was an empty net goal in the 9-5 Bowling Green win. He has not scored a point since then. The Falcons start this period on a power play. Tyler Schleppe took a cross-checking penalty after the final buzzer and the whistle. Falcons into the offensive zone. The clearing attempt is stopped by Norris on the left wing boards. Rappelj looks to try and clear it down again. The Falcons with the power play. Out to center ice, Riley Wallach chase. McKinley turns it back into some offense down the left wing. He's got a bunch of Falcons with him. Good pass to the right wing, makes a move, shot, score! Ben Duran, what a move, what a pass. The Falcons lead 2 goals. Hobie Hedquist in the crease for Ferris State. Reached out with his right leg, and it wasn't enough. Duran went from the right to the left and just wrapped it around the skate blade. 19-19 to go in the second period, and the Falcons have a 2-0 lead. That's Ben Duran's third goal of the season, going on his 17th point as well. McKinley will most likely get an assist for that. He broke his 3-game point streak yesterday without a point, but that'll be 4 points in 5 games for Breck McKinley, who has been the stud this season. As we've just crossed into a minute expired here in the first period, that's a power play goal on a useless penalty taken, quite frankly, by Tyler Schleppe after the whistle. I mean, cross-check to what looked to be Stjernberg behind the goal line. Talene gathers the puck, takes a big hit from Brandon Wynot, who's throwing the body around still. Into the offensive zone. Emerson Good chases the puck in, takes it into the left wing corner. Cleared away, it's up free, and now Max Martin comes up the left wing. Martin tips it forward into the glove of Hedquist. He'll hold on. An offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Falcons. 18:34 the time left to go in the second period, and Ben Duran, with his third goal of the season, gives the Falcons a 2-0 lead. And a power play goal as well. 2 power play goals this weekend. The Falcons 1 for 2 on their man advantages today. Logan Haru back behind the goal line. Max Martin gives a tip at the puck, keeps it there. Hodson able to keep it in the corner. Haru blows a tire. He's sitting on his seat. To Sloan. Sloan with a one-timer, didn't get through. Dukovic the puck up. He's mugged by Crampton. And an icing against Crampton. The Falcons will get a D-zone face-off now. BG leading on face-offs after that first period. They're playing 2 rookie forwards. or two rookie centermen, I should say, Connor Levis and Jake Sloan, that did not win a draw in the first. But Ben Duran and Jaden Grant, both of them won almost all the draws. Jaden Grant, a senior, and Ben Duran, a junior that'll come back next year. In the running for Defensive Forward of the Year last year for the CCHA was Ben Duran, and he's got 17 points to his name with 2 in today's game. Rappelj takes it in down the left wing. His puck is taken into the corner as he's bumped into the shelf as well. Hodson, the check against Jean-Louis. And now here's a breakaway. Brandon Wynot through center, down the slot. Wrist shot over the head of Hedquist. It's slapped ahead by Jean-Louis to get it out of play. Dukovic will touch the puck, and a hand pass coming against Ferris State. So Jean-Louis with a smart play to slap it forward and get it away from danger, but they couldn't touch it. Dukovic, not great awareness on that. He'll get an ozone face-off now. Brandon Wynot on that breakaway. Walked the puck through the slot. A very nice chance. Levis with Foe and Wynot. Still some lines being changed by Noah Morneau's absence from the lineup. Higgins tried to drive, but Dukovic forces it back up to the blue line. Puck turned over to Josh Zeri, number 13, tipped ahead by McGrath, held inside the blue line by Norris, but picked off by Messick. Ferris State dumps it in. The transfer from LIU, Josh Zeri. He gets it into the corner. Norris plays the puck, forehand, looks to pin it. Levis gets it away. Ty Higgins will get there to the puck in his own zone on the right wing side. 17 minutes to go in the second period. Puck behind the goal line again. The captain comes up with it for the Falcons. He flips it off the glass and into Trevor Talene. He flings it into the corner. Offsides is the call against Jacob Badal. So he won't go for the puck, and the Falcons will take possession because of it. Stretch pass up. Hedquist just gets it away from Minville, stretching out with his stick. Schleppe with the puck on the right wing side. Silich there as well. Staying on sides is Ferris State. Sternberg up the ice to Central. Schleppe picks it off. He took the penalty that prompted the Falcon power play goal. Ben Duran, just his third goal of the season. But again, his 17th total point, 41 seconds into the second period. Face off here at Central Ice, 2-0. The Falcons lead, 16:30 to go in the second period. Niedermeyer pass up to the right wing side. Waters gets bumped by Logan Haru. Haru, a very impressive defenseman, but has not scored a point since November 15th, and that game was against Bowling Green. He's not scored a point since then, didn't score yesterday, and has no goals today to get his name on. He flings the puck up to center ice. It's played on the Bulldog logo at center. Niedermeyer on the boards. Grant gets shoved into him. Waters makes a good move. It's over toward Hedquist. He has to step out of the crease, play it into the half wall. Haru the puck off of the Bowling Green bench boards, deep into the Falcon end, and icing against the scarlet and gold. And it'll come back down into the end of Hobie Hedquist. Hedquist at his time in North Dakota last season, 10 games played, just under a 3 goals allowed average, under a .900 save percentage as well, and had his first and only shutout with North Dakota against Robert Morris early on in their season last season, and transferred to Ferris State for the first season of head coach Brett Riley, who signed a contract following Bob Daniels and his retiring from 30-plus years of coaching here in Big Rapids. Off the glass up into the Bowling Green bench. I believe the last touch was from Ferris State, and I believe the face-off is going to be in the O-zone for Bowling Green. Pretty solid crowd here tonight in the Avig Laban Ice Arena. It was relatively thin last night for the 7:07 start on the Friday, but the 6:07 start on a Saturday. Nice crowd, especially with the weather conditions like they are. My phone says it's still snowing just a bit. It snowed quite a bit earlier, 3 inches of accumulation expected, and pretty enough for Big Rapids in January. Brett Foe with the puck on the right wing half wall. He fires it in. Glove save made by Hedquist. Brett Foe's been essentially an everyday player for the Falcons lately. He moved up to the first line with Morneau and Ryman before Morneau's injury. That's where he played yesterday and then got mixed around a bit after the injury to Noah Morneau. Here's this pass in, goes wide left, but for a while there it was playing one game of a series, would be scratched another, and now has earned his way in pretty much full time. Up to central ice, Connor Levis down the left wing, bumped up by Chris Lee. Crampton gives it up to the right wing, doesn't land to Martin. Martin searches for the extra pass. A Foe down the slot. Now a 2-on-1 the other way. Here comes Ferris State down the left wing. Gavin Best gives it up to Lean. Shot, save made. Big stop, Steinman. Trevor Talene, not exactly the player you want to take the shot on the breakaway, but he had it wide open, and Steinman with a nice save. Falcons were leading handily in shots on goal. The latter parts of the first period kind of evened it up a bit. Right now, 9 saves for Steinman, 10 saves for Hedquist, but Hedquist has allowed 2 in a 2-goal Bowling Green lead. Hodson to the right wing. Shot in by Jake Sloan. It's knocked down behind the goal line. Hodson again wraps it around to Jeremy Minville, who tips it ahead out to the blue line. Held in, up in the air, down to Hodson. Hodson, Jean-Louis blows a tire. He's down as he takes a header into the half wall. Back up on his feet now, puck pinned up against the net. And it's up and free. Down to the ring, around the rink. Messick off the glass, up in front of the BG bench. Almost held inside the blue line. An athletic play there by Stjernberg. He comes up with the puck, neutral ice. Niedermeyer with him. Jackson Niedermeyer fires it in off of the kicker of Hedquist. Stretch pass up. Connor McGrath tips it ahead. He's got possession in the O-zone. Dukovic down there with McGrath. McGrath tries to center it. It's 2 in tight with Steinman. He makes the save. Haru fires it in. McGrath to clean it up. Will never get there. He's tripped down to the ice and a penalty upcoming. Connor McGrath is going to go to the box for 2. The Falcons have the goalie out. McGrath blows a tire center ice. Pass up to the right wing side. The Falcons with 6 skaters. The touch by Tyler Schleppe will freeze play for the moment being, but 2 minutes of power play coming up to the Falcons with a 2-goal lead. So some relatively undisciplined hockey this weekend for Ferris State. Falcons 1 for 5 on the power play yesterday. Ferris State 0 for 3. But the Falcons were benefiting from 5 penalties taken by Ferris State. So far today, I believe this is third power play try for the Falcons. They've already scored on 1 of their first 2. Emerson to get the puck out to the blue line. Crampton to Ryman. Ryman down to the goal line on the left wing side. Now back to Ryman and up to Crampton at the point. Crampton has to retreat, couldn't hold it inside the blue line, and all 5 Falcons have to get back on sides. Down the right wing comes Ty Higgins. He turns it around to the blue line. Gets open ice. Emerson feeds it up to Higgins. Higgins down the right wing, makes a man miss. Tumbles down behind the goal line, gives it up, slap shot, Ryman scores! One-timer, number 77, gives the Falcons a 3-0 lead. Big shot, big score there. Dom Ryman, first line, left winger. His 6th of the season, his 16th point, and the Falcons lead 3-0 on back-to-back power play goals. So a commanding lead now for the Falcons. Came into the second period with a 1-goal lead off of Gustav Stjernberg, scoring within the first minute on a power play of Ben Duran, and then scoring again on the power play with Dominic Ryman. Puck again, quickly back in the offensive zone. McKinley down, Jean-Louis to play it Missing the check there was Grant. It's over into the slot. Levis to force the puck free. Up to McKinley. Picked off by Foe. Foe tips it in. Played behind the goal line. Messick with room. Gets it out to the left wing. Now up through central ice. Best skating ahead. Tanner Rowe working in. He gives it up, and it's deflected by defensive Falcons. Now up the other way inside the blue line. Foe on sides. Turns it toward the blue line. Spinning out of the play was Rowe. Schleppe will get to the puck first on the right wing side in the Ferris State end, and the Bulldogs will have possession. Under 12 minutes to go in the second period. 3-0, the Falcons lead. A check by Jake Sloan. Puck back into the Ferris State end. Messick gets it away. Stjernberg picks it off. The Falcons on sides. Up to Max Martin, right wing side. His shot deflected by Hope. Back up to the blue line. Hodson on the left wing side. Max Martin there as well off the half wall. Back up to Jack Blake. He fires it in wide left. Karams around. Long change for Ferris State. Slap shot. Stjernberg dropped down. Blocked there by Brian Morse. And it's cleared away by the Bulldogs. And it'll be waved off icing. So no change for the Bulldogs. They have the long change from their own end now. The Falcons scoring on the left side here, radio dial. So BG, when they can hold the puck in the O zone, can just cycle guys on the ice as long as they can hold onto the puck. And Ferris State skating with their hands on their knees as they're going to try and clear and get a change. That was a long shift already, much less having to drop puck and skate again. And for the draw, Ben Duran with Quinn Emerson. And looks like Jeremy Minville as well. A major penalty challenge now coming from Ferris State. No clue on what this really could be. Officials today are the referees, Andrew Rasky, number 2, Bruce Vida Jr., number 8, both of them also calling games in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Pat Giles, a lineman, that's pretty common to the slate, and Marty Schaefer, who we don't see too much, but is here in Ferris State today. Those are the officials these 2-game series this weekend. They're in the home penalty box looking at this call and a review for a potential major, which at this juncture in the game, I don't think Brett Riley would pull out the challenge unless he really knew that he could get it, because he does lose his timeout, which might be key toward the end of the game. It is a 3-0 Falcon lead, but 1 goal, and this is back to a competitive hockey game. Scoring rundown, Gustav Stjernberg, the game-opening goal, 5 minutes, 10 seconds into the first period. He took the puck down the left wing, worked in for a wrist shot. Ben Duran and Quinn Emerson, the 2 assists. Duran got a goal in the first minute of the second period on the power play, assisted by Breck McKinley. McKinley's 16th assist of the season, 4 points in the last 5 games for Breck McKinley. And then Dominic Ryman, the most recent goal in the power play, 7 minutes, 12 seconds into this, the second period. Emerson and Higgins, the 2 assists. Higgins now has played 4 games and has 4 assists. Did take his first penalties yesterday, but he has contributed very well to the Falcons and is a staple on that power play. Here's the call coming. Ferris State loses their timeout, and there's no penalty. Maybe a questionable challenge there at such an early part of the game. But they used it, and they lost their timeout. So now if they do want to challenge again, they risk taking a bench minor for a delay of game. And a 3-0 Falcon lead. Still 5-on-5 after that review and an icing against the Ferris State Bulldogs. So at least that essentially uses a timeout, used to get some rest time for the Bulldogs, who are trying to get a change now, and they do as they take the puck up to center ice. Ben Duran tips it ahead. Goes in with Messick into the boards. Messick doesn't play the puck, plays the body. Quinn Emerson in the slot, and the puck is taken away. Jack Silich up to central ice. Morse slaps it ahead. Minville plays it up. Forward and picked off by Messick. Messick has been everywhere, maybe the best defenseman on the ice at any given time for Ferris State. Maybe not the most talented, but he's played the best this weekend. Offsides there against Ferris State as they tried to work the puck in. Messick has not scored since November 21st against Lake Superior State. He assisted the only goal scored in that game. That was until yesterday's game where he scored the game-opening goal. A transfer from Ferris State, played in only 5 games with Ferris State, or with Western Michigan last year. Made his debut last year as a Bronco against Ferris State, and played against the Broncos again earlier this season in a split weekend for the Bulldogs against the defending national champions. As here's an icing against Ferris State. Put him on a pretty good stage for the rest of the season. Made the rest of the CCHA look their way, and then since they have not done too hot. 4-19-0 and 3-12 in conference play for the first year of Brett Riley and his time here in Big Rapids. Played up to the blue line. Jack Blake with the puck. He fires it into the corner with Ryman there. Somebody lost a stick. It's broken, and the lumber is spread throughout the ice. Puck held in by Grant. Off the half wall. He takes it back down. Ryman still spun out of the play. Puck into the lone stick on the ice. Blake comes up with the puck. It's down in the left wing corner. Jean-Louis to get it away. Held inside the blue line again. Gavin Best to clear it out. He does. And that'll all but waste a shift for the Bulldogs. Playing without a stick is Trevor Talene. That's his stick that's lying broken on the ice. Puck up to central ice. Talene will sneak off the defenseman. Had to have a couple of guys playing back for him. Jean-Louis with him. Puck back into the Bowling Green end. Talene will take a step off the ice. New Bulldogs on. Dutch pass up. Not tipped by Why Not. Icing against the Falcons. 9:20 to go in the second period. 3-0. The Falcons lead. And then we'll have to play this face-off before we get our media timeout after the 10-minute mark in the period. Stay tuned for the second intermission report. 9 minutes and 20 seconds of game time. Gavin and Nathan back in the Cooling Center studio. We'll walk you through what's going on today's game, what's going on around the CCHA and around Bowling Green athletics. That from Bowling Green in the Cooling Center studio. Of course, also this coming weekend, Lake Superior State at home in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Come to the arena or tune into our broadcast, both at WBGU 88.1 FM, both at 7:07 puck drop times on Friday and Saturday. Puck in the offensive zone. Josh Zeri is wiped out by Gustav Sternberg behind the net. Chris Lee, the shot in. Steinman makes a good save. Is cleared away from the slot and down to the Ferris State end of the ice. Simon, a nice save through traffic there. Saw through it very well. 9 minutes to go in the middle frame. Puck up to center ice. Picked off Sternberg. Makes a move. Would have had a lot of open ice had he completed it, but Zeri with the poke check. Steinman plays the puck. Backhands it away. Finds a brown jersey. Won't connect with Hodson, though, on the second pass. Jack Messick holds the puck at the blue line. Couldn't hold it in, though. Now up the left wing comes Max Martin. Ahead for Hodson. Hodson has 2 Falcons with him. He's pressed behind the goal line. Hodson with the puck. Now everybody in the O zone. Slap shot. Clearing chance by Norris. Norris working in and had to try the backhand and couldn't beat Hedquist. Puck back up to the blue line. Dole picked it off. Up to Dukovic on the left side. And offsides is the call. He should have known. But Dukovic forces it up. Tanner Rowe was a bit long, and we have our Juniper Brewing Company media timeout. Juniper Brewing Company, the proud creator of the Ale Ziggy Zumba, a light ale made in collaboration with BG Athletics, available at 145 South Main Street and downtown Bowling Green. Go to juniperbrew.com for latest menu and Juniper Brewing Company details. 3-0, the Falcons lead. Middle goings of the second period. You're listening to your home for Falcon hockey.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
On September 16, 2017, BG Volleyball's Kelly Simon recorded 44 digs in 5 sets against Seton Hall, the second most in program history. This has been history in Falcon Athletics.
I had 5 drunk driving charges in the last 6 years of my drinking, and I drank for over 55 years. My probation officer threatened me with a year in jail. So the next day I went to my first AA meeting. I had tried many times in my life to quit drinking, but always went back to even heavier drinking. For me, the AA program has been the easier, softer way to stop drinking.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Bowling Green Gymnastics hosts the Eastern Michigan Eagles for a dual meet at the Stroh Center on Sunday, January 11th, starting at 2 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network will have coverage following the conclusion of the meet, available on bgfalconmedia.com. You are tuned into live BGSU hockey coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM from the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back here in the Avig Laban Ice Arena in Big Rapids, the Falcons with a 3-goal lead over the Ferris State Bulldogs, trying to complete the season series sweep over Ferris State. They failed to do so last season at a 3-0 lead, and then on the final game of the season series lost 4-3 to the Bulldogs. And they're trying to avoid that today, although they have a 3-goal lead early and a very nice one. Jackson Niedermeyer behind his own goal line. Played out to the right wing corner. Ben Duran to try and pin the puck up. It's worked away by Jacob Badal. Badal loses the puck. Falcons pick it up. Out to center ice comes Brody Waters. He had a goal yesterday. The first goal of the game for the Falcons, tied it up. After Jack Messick's goal, he had the game-tying goal. Jaden Grant had the game-winning goal on the power play, and then Brandon Wynot an empty net goal. So you had him with all 3 combinations of men on the ice, even strength, a man up and a man down. Jack Messick with the puck up to Tyler Schleppe. Schleppe down the left wing with Josh Zeri, but a long shift. Zeri will head off. Schleppe will go chase Ty Higgins. Higgins, a great skater, up the left wing, tries to make a move, loses the puck as he did so. Schleppe clears it away. He's wheeling a long shift here, and we're going to get a penalty for slashing to maybe Breck McKinley. That was on defense there. Either way, a power play coming to Ferris State, who tries to bring this within a 2-score game. Oh, it's going to go to Ferris State. Holden Dole. Slashing against Holden Dole. I fully thought that was going to be against the defensive player of Bowling Green. Looked like it went both ways, but now the Falcons are going to go on a power play. Emerson, Grant, Ryman with Higgins and Crampton. They have 3 freshmen and 2 seniors on this power play for the Falcons. Grant with the puck, one of those seniors to his fellow one, Emerson. Emerson back up to the blue line, held in by Crampton. With Ryman up at the blue line. Higgins on the right wing. Ryman down to Emerson on the left wing. Fed in tight with Hedquist. And he stood tall in there, although the puck never got to him. Crampton looking for a shot. Now gets it to Higgins on the right wing side. High wheel gets it back to Crampton in center. Center at the blue line. Now to Higgins again on the right wing side. Down to the goal line on that same side. Slap shot Crampton looking for his first goal in quite a while. Hasn't scored since November 1st. Number 25, the rookie for the Falcons. Ryman gets the entry. Emerson with the puck on the left wing. Away to the blue line. Crampton takes a step in, but it's cleared down anyway by Ferris State. Falcons held the puck in there for about 50 seconds. Now a stretch pass up to Ryman. Ryman works it in, gives it back to Norris. Norris plays the puck on the half wall. Down to the left wing side. Duran and Waters behind the goal line. Jack Messick pinning up the Falcon. Now a lot of room up for Norris at the blue line. D-to-D pass with Sternberg. Norris to the right wing side. Ryman back to Sternberg. To Norris holding it inside the blue line. Waters behind the goal line. Back around. Up to the alternate captain Sternberg. Missed Duran. Waters with the puck. on the dot. Clearing attempt from Ferris State won't get out. 30 seconds to go on the power play. 5:20 to go in the second period. Sternberg slap in. Schleppe blocked it. It's down into the left wing corner. Falcons still with the puck in the O-zone. One clearing attempt on this power play by Ferris State. Pass across to Duran off the half wall. Sternberg switches spots with Duran up at the blue line. Duran works in. Sternberg slap shot. Good glove by Hedquist. He holds on. The whistle blows. 7 seconds to go in the penalty kill. The Falcons were toying with the Bulldogs for that whole time. Only one clearing attempt by the Bulldogs in the minute 53 that we've wasted in the power play, and it looks like they're going to hold on for a successful PK. Falcons get a proper line out there, not a power play unit. Why not Levis and Foe? Niedermeyer and McKinley back on defense. Riley Wallach going against the rookie Connor Levis. Wallach, a senior, 7-point scoring senior, transfer from LIU. One of the players to follow Brett Riley from his previous location. There's a clearing attempt by Ferris State, and they are going to kill this penalty successfully, but the Falcons moving the puck well and not really giving up too much possession there. Haru disrupts the pass up to center ice. Rappelj back on defense. He's blasted. Brandon Wynot, and a penalty coming. Huge hit from Wynot to Rappelj, who was a bit worse for wear after that crushing blow. And might be another situation of a Falcon getting penalized for playing heavy, as Menville did last week in the second game against Ohio State. Wynot's going to get the same. He's got to hope it's only going to be 2. Referees converging and discussing right now. Wynot just going to sit in the box. He doesn't play too much on the penalty kill, but the Falcons just hoping it's 2 minutes so they don't allow Ferris to get back in the game. And they are going to review this for a major penalty. So an odd play there in the corner, a big blow by Brandon Wynot in real time. You know, we don't have a monitor like we do at home. Special thank you to Michael Leopardo, a videographer for the BG Athletics. He got us a monitor up in our booth at home in the Slater Family Ice Arena, which is a game changer. I know Nathan Burkett back in the studio can attest to that as well. We get to see replays of what goes on in the game, but in real time, didn't look like Wynot really lined him up. Didn't take a couple of steps into him like normal. It was a big blow to the front of the body. Didn't look like head-to-head contact. Didn't look like the head was low into the boards. But again, going on what I saw real time, so we'll see what this call is. The referees again today, Rasky and Bruce Vida Jr. Pretty much all I could tell you is the hit was big. Although that's pretty much what happened to Minville as well. 2-minute minor for contact to the head. Don't know if there was contact to the head, but they're not going to wipe a penalty away. So he's only going to sit in there for 2. Lucky break there for the Falcons, although they are going to go onto a penalty kill. Falcons have only committed 2 penalties up until this point. Now this is their 3rd. And again, this is just in the same situation that we saw with Jeremy Minville last week against Ohio State. He was ejected in the first period for a hit in the corner that, even if you thought it was a penalty, was not ejection worthy, and yet he was ejected for it. This didn't look to be a penalty to me. Up at the blue line, John Louis plays it. Big defenseman for this Ferris State team. A good scorer, a great skater, and a very physical player, Xavier Jean-Louis. A Quebecer himself, as you can tell by the French-Canadian name. He plays the puck down into the right wing side. Play ball for Gavin Best. He fires it into the chest of Steinman, who makes a save. That's his 12th save of the game. 4:02 to play in the second period. Face-off coming to his left. Among Ferris State's woes this season has been their penalty kill, the second worst in this, or their power play, the second worst in the CCHA, 13% after yesterday's game. The only one worse, Northern Michigan. They've only scored 11 power play goals this season as Ferris State on 83 attempts. Not a great ratio. Here's Jean-Louis with a nice shot into the mask of Steinman. He makes the save. That's using your head. And Jean-Louis will have to collect as the puck is cleared out. Inside the blue line, Norris can't hold it in. Emerson will skate off as he was going to be offsides anyway. 3:30 to go in the second period. 56 seconds of power play to go for Ferris State. Gets the entry, Dukovic. Messick with the puck, down to Dukovic on the goal line. He works in tight, gives it back. Messick looking for two this weekend. Save made, Steinman, and it's taken away by Ferris State to open ice. Up to Messick. To the right wing side, Dukovic takes a bump. Norris guides him into the boards. McGrath does the same. Levis down behind the goal line again with Ty Higgins on the penalty kill. 3 minutes to go in the second period. 3-0 the Falcons lead. A goal in the first period, 2 goals on 2 power plays in the second period. Up to the blue line. Open ice, Messick, shot, score! Tipped in front. Actually, the players say nobody tipped it. Jack Messick's going to get his second of the weekend. And he brings the game within a score. A goal put on the board essentially for a big hit to Brandon Wynot. One I don't know if it was penalty worthy, but it was ruled a penalty. 2:48 to go in the second period. 3-1 now. Three power play goals in this game out of the 4 scored. Puck still dancing on the same spot that the face-off puck was dropped. Waters finally gets it back into his own end. Steinman plays the puck away to the left wing side. Up to the right wing, Jack Messick again. Only played 5 games with Western Michigan last season. Has been impactful to Ferris State this weekend as their only 2 goals has Jack Messick in his second and third of the season as well. Got it within the last 3 minutes of the game on a power play. Dom Ryman up the left wing side, gives it up to Duran, high slot, and good stick there by Silich to disrupt the play and force the puck behind the goal line. Behind the net, Logan Haru takes it around, held inside the blue line by McKinley with 2 hands on his knees. Still inside the blue line, Waters, and then Silich picks it off. Out to center. Entry coming from McKinley. He takes it up. His shot, glove, save, Hedquist as McKinley's knocked down to the ice. Minville not too happy. He's blown up. No hand in the air, so no penalties, but pleasantries exchanged. Grant giving it to him. Minville trying to defend his defenseman. 1:47 to go in the second period. 3-1 lead. It's just the 12th power play goal in the season and the 86th power play opportunity for the Bulldogs. (17-12) the time of the goal. Exactly 10 minutes after Dominic Ryman scored his power play goal. We are going to get a penalty assessed to Ferris State. Can't tell who it is in the box, but we're going to get one probably for roughing after the whistle. No Falcon in the box, at least yet. And here's the call. Roughing after the whistle. They didn't say what number. Looks like maybe number 3, Logan Haru. Also interesting to note here in the Avig Laban Ice Arena, there's no bench in the home penalty box, and that's because it leads directly back into the tunnel. So there's not room for one. So the Bulldog in the penalty box has to stand the whole time. Drink his water, use his towel, but he cannot sit down, as the Falcons can do in their away penalty box. Up to the blue line, Crampton back down. Falcon power play for the next 2 minutes to end this period and maybe some change in the second. Working in, Emerson looking. Hedquist dives to hold the puck out. It's down behind the goal line. A lot of bodies in front there. The crease can't find its way through. Ryman behind the goal line again. Back to Ryman on the left wing side and back up to the point. Crampton gives it up. Ty Higgins working in. He got a pass. Emerson, good save there by Hedquist. Up into the left wing side, carried out of the defensive zone by Gavin Best, and it's forced forward. Higgins back to Ryman. The entry inside the blue line by Ben Duran with speed. Duran backhands it around. Good move there. Pass to Dom Ryman back behind the goal line. Crampton back up to McKinley. McKinley to the right wing. Duran defended by Riley Wallach. Back up to McKinley. To Crampton. High left wing wheel now works it into center. Gives it up to Duran. Duran to Ryman in the slot. Couldn't get a good shot off. McKinley on the left wing side. Back up to the blue line. The rookie Crampton to McKinley, the junior. Down to Brett Foe. He wraps it around. Wallach takes his man into the boards. Ryman, a penalty upcoming. Talene, the Falcons still with the puck. Slap shot fake McKinley. Here's Duran. The Falcons are going to another power play. 22 seconds to go. The Falcons can clear the period. 4 seconds to go. A touch from Ferris State. The Falcons are going to get another power play after this one's expired. There's 17 seconds left on the penalty to Logan Haru for roughing after the whistle. And we're going to get a gameplay penalty to Trevor Talene. And that's 2 defensemen in the box for Ferris State. Talene and Haru, both penalty killers. And now you're down to Brian Morse, a redshirt freshman, Chris Lee, a sophomore, and your big line of Jack Messick and Xavier Jean-Louis are going to be pulling big minutes in the next 2:17. Only 4 seconds left in the second period. So we'll talk about this more at the start of the third, a 3-1 Falcon lead as we head into the second intermission report, brought to you in memory of Marta Crow. Make sure to tune in to, or stay tuned for Gavin and Nathan back in the Cooling Center studios talking us through the 15 minutes in between periods. The 4 seconds expired, 13 seconds of 5-on-3 to start the third period, and then about 1:40 of 5-on-4 for the Falcons to start the third. They have a 2-goal lead, 3-1, 2 goals here in the second period for the Falcons, 1 for the Bulldogs. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, my name's Emma Stransky. I'm a winger for BGSU women's soccer. My 4 favorite animals are ferret, because I have 2 and they're the cutest things ever. Falcon, because we're BG. Fox, because Chris Fox, our coach. And then a flamingo, because I think that they're pretty.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, this is Emmy Butera with the women's soccer team, and I'm doing my favorite 4 candies. So my first one is Jolly Ranchers. My second one is Sour Patch Watermelon. My third one, probably Gummy Bears. And my fourth one, I'll go with Mentos.
Back here in the Cooling Center, Gavin Gill, Nathan Burkett. Nathan, wow, I called you Nathan. All right, Burkett. Whoa. The Falcons are up 3-1 in the second intermission. up there in Big Rapids, Michigan. This second intermission report is brought to you in memory of Marta Crow, Falcon hockey fanatic and avid Falcon hockey listener on WBGU 88.1. Burkett, 3-1, second period. Falcons scored 2 times. Ferris State found the net 1 time that in this intermission. The Falcons have had 24 shots compared to Ferris State's 15. So it's getting up there from the first intermission. I feel like Ferris State's coming out a little bit more aggressive. There was a couple more pushing and fighting little skirmishes in this period. But what really shocked you, or like what caught your attention in this second intermission?
Bowling Green's power play. They've had a good power play throughout the season, but they seem to have been struggling as of late. They get 2 power play goals in the second period, so both their goals were on the power play. One from Ben Duran, his 3rd of the season. The other one from Dominic Raimond, who, if you guys, or if the listeners will remember, was the guy I said I would have chosen for Pick a Stick, Subtle Flex.
All right.
His 6th goal of the season. So a couple goals for the Falcons. You mentioned they're now up to 24 shots. So I said that after the first period, how I didn't necessarily like that they only took 8 shots. They double their shot production, take 16 in the second period. Ferris State, quick math, took 8 shots in the second period. They are up to 15 on the game. So good job for the Falcons out shooting Ferris State 16-8. So not only are you doubling your shot volume, you're keeping Ferris State's low. They're now BG as well, up to 7 blocked shots on the game. Face-off wise, they're also starting to take off. BG, up into the Ohio State series, was the second best team in the country for face-off percentage. They dropped to like 10th or so after the Ohio State series because they struggled. And they struggled, I wouldn't say necessarily struggled, but they just barely beat out Ferris State when it comes to face-offs last night. They are now up to 25 face-offs, 1 to only 14 losses in the face-off dot for the Falcons.
Yeah, a lot of great points that you brought up there. I'm liking to see a little bit more aggression, I feel like, in this third period. I feel like the third period is where the Falcons kind of like stand out above over the last couple of games that I've covered and gone to see. 2 of those being the Ohio State games. I feel like the third period is where they actually like stand on business almost, and I could see a final score being like 5-2. Honestly, just listening and like looking at what this Ferris State team is doing, I feel like they. I don't know. I mean, there is like the pushing and fighting kind of happening right now, but I don't hear a lot of fight out of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we will be right back here on 88.1 WBGU. We're gonna go over the current live hockey games. We had 2 puck drops happen since the last time we spoke. 2 puck drops that I'm keeping an eye on for you listeners since the last intermission. But this is 88.1 WBGU. Home for Falcon hockey and coverage of today's game. Bowling Green State University taking on Ferris State 2-1 in Big Rapids.
My life was going downhill fast. Everybody was on my case. Now, I kept hoping that life would change real soon. I knew drinking too much messed up my life. A friend suggested I check out AA. It worked. I found myself in an AA group. Finally, I've got my act together.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Hi, I'm Peyton O'Malley with women's soccer here at BG, and my Falcon 4 pregame rituals is going to Trop, praying, singing songs in the locker room, and our mental prep on the field.
On August 28th, 2025, BGSU football running back Cameron Petaway returned at kickoff 97 yards for a touchdown on the first play of the season against Lafayette. The second straight year, the Falcons found pay dirt on the first play of the campaign. Falcon Media Sports Network Sean Connolly had the call of the moment on Falcon Radio.
Dumont kicks it away, and we are underway in the 2025 football season, and it will be returned. And the
Looks like he's got an opening, and will we see it again? There he goes. He's at the 50. There he goes for the second straight year. He will be gone. 2 years in a row, Cameron Petaway. Touchdown Falcons. Unbelievable.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
.1 WBGU coverage of Bowling Green State University taking on Ferris State 3-1. I had to correct myself since the last time we were on. I did say 2-1. That is I apologize. But 3-1 Bowling Green over the Bulldogs. Around college hockey right now, let's take a look at first the CCHA games, and then we will go to the other games that we have our eyes on. Augustana is still up 1-0 on Northern Michigan. That game is being played in, I think, Northern Michigan. Yep, being played in Northern Michigan. But 1-0 on Northern Michigan, who sits at the bottom of the CCHA. So a bit surprising. And Augustana is at the, they're the top. They're in the top four.
I think they're third right now.
Third right now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a head scratcher to me, but also, who knows? I mean, anything can happen in the CCHA, as we've brought up multiple times. The two other games that had their puck drops since our last intermission, the St. Thomas versus Minnesota State. That game is being played in Minnesota State. 0-0 still. And then another, I would say, shocking game right now. Bemidji State, who is currently they are fourth right now. Over Michigan Tech, who's right behind them. They both have the same amount of points, but the current score of that game is 2-0 Michigan Tech over Bemidji State. So like we said in the first intermission report, this is where the meat and potatoes are at the back half of the CCHA play game. Another game that I have been taking a look at or keeping my eye on. The final score. Oh, whoa. We have an upset alert. Michigan State, number 2 ranked team in the country, lost to Ohio State 2-1. That is surprising. Ohio State, the last time they took the ice before this Michigan State series, they did play Bowling Green, and Bowling Green did beat them on a Saturday and tied them on Friday. But losing to Michigan State, or beating Michigan State 2-1, is that game being held in East Lansing, or is that game being held in Columbus?
It is in Columbus.
It was in Columbus. Wow. What a upset. Another game that keeping an eye on for future opponent, Notre Dame, taking on the number 1 ranked team in the country, Michigan. Michigan is up 2-1 over the Fighting Irish. It's not hockey related, but right now we currently have the NFL playoffs happening right now. Yesterday we brought up the college football playoffs where Indiana beat Oregon pretty dramatically. But currently right now the Rams just took the lead 34-31 over the Carolina Panthers. That game is being played in Charlotte, Carolina. But let's get back to hockey. Burkett, anything from what I said either in this Around the College roundtable or that you want to bring up that's relevant to this Ferris State Bowling Green game? Actually, you know what? I want to get your opinion on this Ohio State-Michigan State game because I feel like that's a big upset, right?
That's a pretty big upset. Ohio State struggled a lot this year, especially compared for like what they usually are doing. So, for example, last year they were ranked in the top 20 and went to the NCAA playoffs where they lost in the first round to, I believe, Boston University. This year they've struggled a lot. They have gone 7-12-1 over the season, only 3-7 in Big Ten play. So to get a win over Trey Augustine, one of the better goalies in the NCAA, and one of the best teams in college hockey, Michigan State, that's definitely a big win for them. Pointing out one of their goal scorers, Davis Burnside, we talked about him in the BG series. He scored a point every single game of his career against Bowling Green. He's nearing 100 career points, and he gets a goal tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just blown away. Like my sister goes to MSU, and I just texted her last night after they beat Ohio State. I was like, hey, I'm gonna come to a Michigan State game, and I'm thinking about coming to that next Ohio State series. But I mean, that next Ohio State series might be a little. I mean, they were putting up a fight against Bowling Green. Like by fight, I mean like physically fighting them.
Mm-hmm.
But so it could get a little intense there. We'll be right back after these messages here on 88.1 WBGU, your home for Falcon hockey, for your second intermission, brought to you by Marta Crow, Falcon hockey fanatic and avid Falcon hockey on WBGU 88.1 listener. You're listening to 88.1 WBGU.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the Cooling Center for your your second intermission report. I'm gonna give my prediction, and then Burkett, you give your prediction. I'm gonna stand on I think the final score will be 5-2. Bowling Green taking the win there. I would love to see Brett Foe, so I could be right later, get a goal. But I feel like I don't know, something about 5-2 is really speaking to me. I feel like they're gonna come out with a lot of fight in this third period. What are you thinking, Burkett?
Remind me, Gavin, who you picked for Pick a Stick?
Brett Foe.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I think Dominic Ryman's gonna put up a bunch of points. My hypothetical pick, but I could see, like you said, a score of 5-2. I could also see the power play. BG going into this, they've already scored 2 power plays. Going into this third period, they will have a 5-on-3 power play for the first couple of seconds, and then continuing on a 5-on-4 power play. This could be a game that gets their power play going. They've also been very good on the penalty kill. They've killed off all the penalties they've needed to kill, so the penalty kill has been good. The power play has been good. Special units for BG tonight have been very well. I expect some couple players to keep blocking shots. Brandon Wynot, I could see maybe getting his second career goals, first goal on a goalie. I could see that potentially. Why not, again, like a big hit? So, again, why not, in my opinion, is a player that over the last couple of games has really impressed me.
Absolutely. We will be right back, sending it back to Ben Korak in Big Rapids, Michigan on 88.1 WBGU.
A 5-on-3 for the next 5 seconds. Pass over into the slot. Jaden Grant forces it in with just seconds left on the initial power play. Jaden Grant, the alternate captain, makes it 4-1. Wipes away the penalty to Logan Haru, which just had seconds left. And now we have a minute 44 of power play for the penalty to Trevor Talene. I didn't even get a chance to explain what was going on with the penalties. 12 seconds into the third period, and it's 4-1 Falcons. Another power play goal. That's 4 goals in a row on the power play for these two sides. 3 of them for the Falcons. Just 12 seconds into this third period. Falcons with 5, the Bulldogs with 4 for the next minute 40. So still on the power play and a chance to put up another. Ty Higgins to the right wing. Quinn Emerson works in. Pass back to Braden Crampton. Crampton to Ryman on the left side. He takes it outside of the face-off circle. Now to the left wing, back up to the blue line. Crampton plays the puck again. Working through the left wing are the Falcons. Emerson down at the goal line. Back up to Ryman. Back up to Crampton. Crampton, the shot in. Missed the goal. Wide left. Ryman back again. One-timer to Jaden Grant from the left circle. Now another shot in. Cleanup attempt by the Falcons. Another try by Jaden Grant. He's got 2 this weekend. 1 yesterday, now 1 today. Both on the power play. Worked in tight. Grant in front of the crease again. Ryman directs it back up to the blue line. Crampton shot in. Grant deflected it down, and it's around the goal again. 50 to go in the power play. Circling the net is Ty Higgins. He's back up at the top. He works in. Down to the goal line. Back up to Higgins. Played by Crampton to the left wing side. Dom Ryman, his shot in. Deflected down. Up in the air and wide of the goal. Now behind the goal line. 18:30 to go in the third period. 30 seconds left on the power play. Puck free and out to the left wing. Couple of Falcons get a change. Grant with the puck. Up to Crampton. Slap shot. Crampton off of the kicker of Hedquist and into the corner. Up to Crampton. Couldn't hold it inside the blue line. 10 seconds to go on the power play. The Falcons will score on the first. Most likely will not score on the second as McKinley takes this puck up. Now he leaves it back. Trevor Talene coming out of the box right now. He's back out onto the ice. He's late to the play. He'll go for a change instead of going to play. Hodson with the puck in the left wing corner. Badal comes up with it. Backhands it out. A race for the puck here between Dukovic and McKinley. Won by Dukovic. He leaves it back. Messick, crossing pass, a nice one there by Jack Messick, but doesn't land to a white jersey. Behind the goal line, Zeri, recovery by McKinley to the left wing side, Hodson. And Bowling Green gets it back up to center ice. Jean Louis high in the air, Ben Duran up with the entry. A 1-on-4 for Duran down to the goal line, wasting time behind the goal. His guys get back on into the play. Dukovic makes a move. He's still behind the goal line, dancing with the puck. A big pestering forecheck there by Brett Foe. Up at center ice, taken ahead by Tyler Schleppe into the O-zone. Ferris State looking to put together some offense. They're down 3 goals again. Jaden Grant on the power play. Back to back to back to back power play goals in this game. Everything has run through the penalties today. Back in the corner. Ferris State recovers the puck. Brian Morse with a bump on the open ice Falcon. Here's Schleppe. He takes up the left wing side. Bulldogs go up. Tanner Rowe takes the man into the corner. Crampton with the puck away. Loose puck recovery there in center ice by Levis. Ahead for Brandon Wynot. Wynot had an empty net goal yesterday. Has yet to beat a goalie this season. But he's played very well the last couple of games, especially in the new year of 2026. Played well second game against Ohio State. Earned him twice in the lineup against Ferris State this weekend. He played very well yesterday and playing very well today as well. 16 minutes to go in the third period. 4-1, the Falcons lead. Sternberg, Duran, Ryman, and Grant, the goal scorers. Puck on the doorstep. Minville works in to try and get a shot on goal off, and Ferris State takes it up to neutral ice. Poked ahead by Gavin Best. Again riding a 5-game point streak, but does not have a point yet today. So that's at risk of being broken. Up to the blue line, Jean-Louis. Late on the back check. Picking him up is Jack Messick, taking Minville into the boards. Up to McKinley, blue line. McKinley, his shot. Screened by a couple of Falcons and some Bulldogs as well. Dipped ahead. McKinley will be the first back, steers it into the corner, makes the man miss. Off the half wall on a high glass, up to Minville. A tip, so no icing. 5 minutes expired now in the third period. Holden Dole with the puck. He gets bumped by Hodson behind the goal line in the Ferris State end. Falcons looking for an O-zone possession, which has been a desperate Ferris State team trying to keep the puck up and into the Falcon end of the ice. They're behind the goal line. 27 shots on goal for the Falcons, 16 for Ferris State, a better ratio than yesterday. Hodson leaves it back. Max Martin works in. His shot between the legs of Brian Morse into Hedquist in the net of Ferris State. He's given up 4 goals. He's saved 24 shots. By no means a great game for Hobie Hedquist. Well, he did play fantastic yesterday. We get a frozen puck and a face-off to his left. Hedquist, just a junior, he's got another year of eligibility, 1-6 on the season. And it's looking pretty poor that he takes a win today. His only win of the season is at the defending national champions, Western Michigan. This shot blocked at the point by Lisko. Niedermeyer wraps it around. Low angle shot blocked again. This one out to center ice on a long block. Crampton with the puck up the center. Why not tips it ahead? Intercepted by Ferris State. At center ice, McGrath. Rappeljay down the right wing. Rappeljay working in. A nice poke check there by Niedermeyer to get the puck free. Now back down the right wing. Goal line wrapped in towards Steinman. Shut off. Whistle blows without the puck being covered up. And possibly a penalty upcoming. The puck wasn't shut down. It was still loose in front of Steinman. And the whistle blew. It looks like we're getting a face-off to the left of number 1 between the pipes. Well, we just got a whistle on the stoppage. Back into the dot, Gavin Best. Riley Wallach, the centerman, on the right wing for this draw, not taking the pass, even though there was no false start. Ryman ahead. He would have been the first to that puck, so Hedquist has to step out and play it. Brody Waters goes for a check with his shoulder. Wallach pushes it ahead to Rappeljay in the corner. Wallach working in, goal line, backhand. Missed the rack as he forced it across the crease. Now behind the goal line, Gavin Best. And penalty upcoming to the Falcons. Grant McKinley, we're in the corner. A tripping coming up. Looks like it's going to go to Breck McKinley. McKinley doesn't take too many penalties. That's his 6th of the season. And it'll just be his 12th minute, but penalties have played a factor into the scoring of this game. 13:42 left to play in the third period. A 2-minute power play for Ferris State. Bowling Green has been good on power plays. 3 for 6 so far. Ferris State at 1 for 3. Falcons with a bit of a breakaway here. Down the right wing comes Connor Levis, shorthanded into Jake Sloan. Down on the right wing, Ferris State gathers the puck out to center ice. Stjernberg backhands it up ahead. Left back down, and that'll waste some time for Ferris State to get their offense rolling. Down behind the goal line, Steinman knocks the puck down off the shelf. Searching for a pass is Gavin Best. He was in tight now. Stretches it back out to Jean-Louis. Out of the crease comes Hedquist. The shot in, knocked down. So 6 skaters for Ferris State. And only 4 defenders for the Falcons. With 12:45 to go in the third period. Trailing 3 are the Bulldogs. So maybe not a bad call there by head coach Brett Riley. Emerson tries to clear. John Louis holds it in out to center ice. Quinn Emerson with the angle on it, and it's peeled away by Brian Morse. Off the half wall and up to center ice. Ferris State struggling to get an entry. Josh Zeri backhands it into the Falcon bench, and we're going to get a face-off in central ice, not even in the O-zone there. 12:22 to go in the third period, and Hedquist will have to head back out to the crease. It's too close for comfort. Will this draw? Not a bad call there by Brett Riley, you do have 3 goals of work to make up. Down the right wing comes Niedermeyer off to the face-off win, so a good play there by putting Hedquist back in the goal. 12:10 left to go in the third. 25 seconds to go in the power play to Ferris State. Riley Wallach, he backhands it, tries to find it in the slot to McGrath, but it will never land there. Why not down behind the goal line? Niedermeyer, the converted forward to defenseman here from the Falcons. It's cleared down again. Time expiring on the power play and another penalty kill. 1 for 4 on the day is Ferris State on the power play. 3 for 4, of course, is the Falcon penalty kill. Up through neutral ice, Dukovic down the left wing, Holden Dole with him. Stays on sides. The pass for Jack Messick with open ice. Misses and out to central ice. Logan Haru with the puck up to central. Connor Levis takes it in. Onside entry. Leaves it back for Brett Foe, who missed the puck there. Back up. His pass picked off. Tipped ahead by Levis. And Ferris State with the puck. 9 minutes expired in the third period. 4-1, Bowling Green lead. The only goal in this period, Jaden Grant, assisted by Emerson and Higgins, who also combined for the assists on the Dominic Ryman goal on the power play. 17th assist of the season for Emerson, 5th assist of the season for Higgins. He is now over a point per game after not scoring in his first game played against Ohio State. Been impressive all around as Ty Higgins today and this weekend and the calendar year after not playing the entire first half of the season. Down behind the goal line, Sloan backhands it into the corner. Higgins plays it ahead. Back up outside the blue line. Jean-Louis retreats, now forces it back in. Ferris State's got to keep the puck in the favored side of the ice in Bowling Green territory. Jean-Louis, a big check there to take Martin down to the ice as the puck coming in. Martin hadn't played the puck yet. Zary lofts it up, goes to chase. Lisco behind. Zary blows a tire down on the seat of his pants. Why not dumps it down? And it'll be an icing against the Falcons. 31 shots on goal now for the Falcons, 18 for the Bulldogs. 4-1, the Falcons lead. Won the first game of the season series 9-5. Won that second game in the Slater Family Ice Arena 5-2. Won yesterday 3-1 and trying to complete another multi-goal win today over the Bulldogs. The Falcons got to double-digit wins on the season overall yesterday with their 10th win. 10-5-4 is their record, 7-3-3 in conference play. You can get closer to double digits in conference play as well with a win today. Off the high part of the glass, Norris's pass up central ice won't land to Minville, although Minville gets the puck back. Down the left wing, into the glove of Hedquist on a nice shot. 9:55 to go in the third period. 4-1. The Falcons lead at the media timeout. Juniper Brewing Company, located at 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Go to juniperbrew.com for their menu and latest details. Go give them a visit. We'll talk to you again in about 2 minutes after this media timeout. 4-1, the Falcons lead on your home for Falcon hockey.
Bowling Green Gymnastics hosts the Eastern Michigan Eagles for a dual meet at the Stroh Center on Sunday, January 11th, starting at 2 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network will have coverage following the conclusion of the meet, available on bgfalconmedia.com.
I had 5 drunk driving charges in the last 6 years of my drinking, and I drank for over 55 years. My probation officer threatened me with a year in jail. So the next day I went to my first AA meeting. I had tried many times in my life to quit drinking, but always went back to even heavier drinking. For me, the AA program has been the easier, softer way to stop drinking.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Edita Wacławczyk, and I'm in BGSU volleyball team, and this is my Falcon 4 foods I can eat for the rest of my life. First one is pasta, every kind of pasta. I just love pasta, and I wish I was born in Italy. Second one is crepes, because I feel like it's a typical dish in Poland, especially sweet crepes. And then cherries, just because they're juicy and really good. And last one is burritos, because I like Mexican food a lot. Thank you.
Check out the Zig Zone Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Line back up to the left wing. The Falcons putting together some offense here. Mid-goings of the third period with a 3-goal lead. Have the Falcons. Jacob Steinman, the freshman, in the net for Bowling Green. 15 saves, 1 goal allowed, 938 save percentage in his 46 minutes and change of work. Hobie Hedquist, 4 goals allowed, 26 saves. He's been tested a lot, but has given up 4 in the net for Ferris State. And they're probably going to have to pull the goalies sooner than you would imagine. They have 3 goals to make up. Jaden Grant's going to be kicked out of the dot. Waters and Dom Ryman with him, and the rookie Ryman's going to come into the circle. Face-off one back, Central Ice. Stjernberg with the puck, shot over the head of Hedquist, who jumps at the puck. Now a stretch pass up to Rappel-J, won't land. He was offside, so he had chance. Down to Waters. Waters tips ahead. Jean-Louis topples down to the ice as Waters' hand was a bit high there, but he didn't pull him down. So a good no call. Rappel-J cherry picking again. Off the half wall, up to Jack Blake. Blake feeds it back down. Extra skating today is Jack Blake. Scored an assist on November 15th against Ferris State as there's an icing against the Bulldogs. But Jack Blake, an assist against Ferris State on November 15th. That was his first point since November 17th, 2023 against Lake Superior State at Lake Superior State. And then later on scored an assist on December 5th in Game 1 against Northern Michigan. 2 assists in the last 6 games played going into the second Northern Michigan game. That was the best stretch of his career, the best season of his career as well. Ty Higgins with a good shot in, dancing on the doorstep. Clean-up try by Why Not, forces it in. Hedquist way out of the crease to his right, and he covers it up, shuts it down. That play off of a good first shot by Ty Higgins from the blue line at the right side. Higgy baby's really working. 8:52 to go in the third period. He's got a heck of a nice shot. He's a great skater. He brings physicality. He can play heavy, but he also just skates so well, gets to good areas, passes well as well. Quicker than a lot of forwards they have. He gets back in time to force the icing call against Ferris State. Dukovic also ahead with Badal to try and chase the puck down. 8:45 to go in the period. And in the game, as it looks right now, the first goal of the game, Stjernberg in the first period, assisted by Duran and Emerson. Emerson's got 3 assists today, 15th, 16th, and 17th of the season on the Stjernberg, Ryman, and Grant goal. 3 goals in the second period, Duran and Ryman, both on power plays. Jack Messick for Ferris State on the power play as well. He's been the only goal scorer this weekend for the Bulldogs. 1 coming in, and he'll have 3 going out. And then the only goal here in the third period, 12 seconds in on the power play. Carryover from the second period. That was a power play goal by Jaden Grant, again assisted by Emerson and Ty Higgins. Higgins assisted the game-winning goal on Grant's power play last night. Assisted what stands now as a superfluous goal, but the third goal of the game and the most recent 4th goal of the game for the Falcons. So we're getting a bunch of face-offs in the O-zone. We're getting a bunch of quick shots, and we're getting a bunch of quick gloves by Hedquist, who I'm assuming at this part of the game is not going to exit the net no matter the score. Back up to the blue line. Braden Crampton being held onto a bit by Rowe, who did not have a stick. Now he'll go grab a new one from the bench. The pass across, diagonal into the corner. Waters is checked. He stays on his feet. Puck behind the goal line. Ryman chases it into the corner with Talene. Puts a shoulder into Talene. The puck up ahead to Niedermeyer. And it's cleared away by Ferris State anyway. Drop down on the goal line. Dole with Crampton. And the Falcon wins that board battle. Waters ahead. There's some lumber on the ice again. Some broken sticks this weekend, quite a bit. Making the team managers work a bit. Jackson Niedermeyer with the puck behind his own net, playing with Crampton now. Tipped ahead for Max Martin. Jake Sloan ranging in. A freshman, number 16. Sloaner had a assist yesterday, his second assist of the season. His third point as well for Jake Sloan. Puck up into the O-zones, batted down out of the air by Max Martin. And pass up to center ice, Hodson. Ferris State will have to wait a beat to get back on sides. Schleppy's pinned into the Falcon bench. That's the leftmost bench on your radio dial. Toward the goal of the Falcons right now. Steinman on the left side of your radio dial in the first and the third period. The Falcons have scored on the right twice. Sternberg back into his own zone. Lisko battling for the puck. Luke Lisko, the redshirt freshman, transfer after last season to the first season of Brett Riley as he came in from LIU. Lisko played his first game of the season. His very last game played was against St. Thomas in St. Thomas. Here's a big slap shot. Quinn Emerson, one-timer, scores! I believe Higgins set it up. That'll be Emerson's fourth point of the game, a goal and 3 assists. That'll be Higgins' third assist of the game and his fourth of the weekend, and the Falcons lead 5-1. Quinn Emerson's got his 6th goal of the season. He's just passed the 20-point mark today. And that one not on a power play, the first non-power play goal since the 5:10 mark in the first period. All 4 goals in between now and then on the power play. 6:35 to go in the third period. Higgins with the puck. He forces it ahead. He gets checked into the boards by Badal. And Higgins has to reset and go to the bench. Up, tipped ahead by Brett Foe. Up to center ice, picked off by Foe now. He's got to wait for his guys to get back on sides and loses the puck because of it. The Falcons too deep into the O-zone. Not a lot of time to do a lot of work for the Bulldogs. They look like they're going to take their 20th loss of the season already. This puck off the net, and we're going to get a whistle and a drop to the left of Steinman. So now the Falcons just playing for Steinman. Cole Moore played fantastic yesterday, 16 saves, 1 goal allowed, above a .900 save percentage by a while. And some confidence back to Morsey after 2 great games against Ohio State, one of them a win, one of them a tie. And then had a good 1 goal allowed game yesterday, although he was not tested too much, still played very well. Brian Morse, this shot, big block by Dom Ryman. He retreats to grab a new stick as his old one laying on the ice. Waters up the right wing side, dumps in, wastes time. Defensive pairing changes. Falcons in the O-zone now. Sternberg and Jack Blake back. In tight with Hedquist, and he'll cover it up with 5:40 to go. But goaltending has not been a problem really all season for the Falcons. 3 good options and a really great one. And Tyler Palmer, 3-1-1 this season, but you can tell because of that decision number, he has not played as much as Steinman and Moore. The rookie Steinman, Palmer just a sophomore, played in U Sports last year, the Canadian Collegiate League. Good pass to Jack Blake, he worked in, Hedquist, this shot on the rebound by Max Martin. Jack Blake had a very quality chance there on the backside. Martin had another one to try and clean it up, but no luck. Hodson, good pass. Jack Blake, his shot blocked. Back out to the blue line. Lisco with a good placement there. Roach tried to drag it to the inside and beats Sternberg, who goes for the contact. Good miss. And over to Badal. Good save there, Steinman, right into his lower mask and chest area. Badal, another shot in. Schleppe in front. Under 5 to go in the third period. Another shot in, blocked, and back up to the other end of the ice. A touch coming before the icing. Falcons will get a change. Haru recycles the puck and now takes it up into the offensive zone. Off the half wall, down back behind the goal line. Badal. And we're going to get a whistle and a face-off down at the other end on the icing. Falcons heading toward their 11th win of the season overall, their 8th win in CCHA play, coming into today ranked 6th in the CCHA with 24 points behind Bemidji and Michigan Tech. They'll jump one of them today because Bemidji and Michigan Tech play each other. Have a game in hand over both Augustana and Minnesota State, although both of those teams 4+ points ahead. Penalty upcoming here to the Falcons. It'll put Ferris State on a power play. Emerson good down the right wing, offside against Ferris State. That they're going to touch the puck anyway, and the cross-checking is going to be the call against the Falcons. Looks like Jeremy Minville wasn't too happy, and he's going to be put in the bin. We'll go on to another penalty kill for the Falcons. But just 4 points separate the number 1 team in the CCHA from the number 6 team in the CCHA and the Falcons. Now 7 points separate the Falcons from the next highest, which is Lake State. So there's the line drawn in the sand that 3 teams pretty much cannot cross. Northern Michigan only 5 points. Ferris State with 8 and Lake Superior State with 17, but still far enough away from the Falcons as the puck's cleared here by Bowling Green on the penalty kill. We're getting to the point in the season that every point matters, and the Falcons take care of business this weekend. They have a series against Lake State, another one they need 6 points. Not because Lake State's good, but because they are not as good. Dalton Norris getting into it a bit as Schleppe took his stick, and he has to skate over and get a change. It's iced back down against the Falcons, so 30 seconds, or by the Falcons, 30 seconds wasted. Niedermeyer submarines the driving offensive man. That was Silich. And the puck back into the Ferris State end. Here's Chris Lee. He takes the puck up through center. Leaves it back. Jean-Louis, checked by Sternberg. Thought the hit was a little bit high, but in a 5-1 game, that call's probably not coming, especially when you already have a power play. Up to Messick, center ice. Messick and Jean-Louis, the better defensive pairing that's played all weekend. Messick, the only 2 goals. Defenseman. Not a big scoring one at that. Gavin Best tries to cross it into the slot. The Falcons get a stick in the lane. To the right wing, Messick with the puck. To the forehand, Sternberg takes him into the boards. A good check there. Crampton ices it down. Beautiful penalty kill for the Falcons. I believe that's 4 icing dumps. 30 seconds to go in the power play. 2:41 to play in the third period. Off the glass and down, a 4-goal lead. And it doesn't look like Hedquist is going to exit the crease. Jean-Louis the shot in, Badal working in front. He tips it, but into the corner instead of toward the rack. Back up to the blue line. Messick holds it in. Another shot in, knocked down wide right of the goal as he shot from the right side of the blue line. Knocked down to the ice is Brett Foe. Penalty upcoming from the referee far side of the ice. I believe Holden Dole, as Brett Foe still down on the ice. And Fisher will not have to come out and attend to Foe. He'll skate off under his own power. And we'll go to power play for the Falcons. Cross check is the call against Brett Foe as the stick got a bit high there too towards the neck of Fozzie. And it'll be power play for the final 2 minutes, but 2 minutes and 14 seconds of the game. That penalty all but sealing the destiny of Ferris State in the second game, a season series sweep, and a series sweep for the Falcons, their first of 2026 calendar year. Face-off back behind the goal line. Tallene dice it back down, and it touched the bench. Schleppe and Tanner Rowe were way ahead and would have had maybe a 2-on-none breakout against Steinman. They're lucky that the puck was in the bench there. The Falcon defensemen were not back. Sternberg and Norris, those two defenders on the blue line. Edquist still in the net. 2:05 to go in the third period. Back down behind the goal line. Waters and Duran back there. Power play goals for Duran, Grant twice. Dom Ryman this weekend for the Falcons. Slap shot, Norris finds its way past the net, up high. On the left wing, taken down the ice was Duran. Duran's hitting the head and a penalty going there. Logan Haru gave him a cross check to the head before he take a step off the ice. That is a cheap shot from the defenseman. And we're going to get 5-on-3. Not at this juncture in the game that it matters. And roughing is the call against Haru. He gave Ben Duran a quick cross check to the head before he got off the ice. Thought he could get away with it. And there's really no place in the game for that kind of stuff. That's a dangerous little chippy play to give in a game that's pretty much all been won. Riley Wallach clears it down off the half wall. Sternberg gives him a bump to keep him away from the puck. Falcons with it in their own end. 1:30 to go in the third period. 5-1. The Falcons lead just got to 40 shots on goal a minute ago. Ferris State has not yet gotten to 20. The Bulldogs ice it down. Steinman stops it again behind the goal line. The Falcons change out some guys. And it's Braden Crampton that takes the puck up. Crampton back, Higgins with the puck. He takes it up the right wing. Short pass up off the half wall to Grant. Now gives it up left wing side. Crampton, Higgins, he'll have to backtrack. Badal with a shot in from way deep around the blue line. Bad bounce there. Steinman fell to his seat as he tried to save it. 50 seconds to go in the third period. Up the right wing comes Dom Ryman. Back up to Crampton. Crampton tips it in the air. Holds it inside the blue line. And it's iced back down by Ferris State. The best penalty kill of the game so far is coming with 35 seconds left in the third period. They've iced it more now than they did during a game when it was way tighter in the first and second and early third periods. Duran to Hodson. To the right wing now as it clears around the horseshoe. McKinley keeps it in. 15 seconds to go in the third period. Out of the box comes Logan Haru. Back up to full strength are the Bulldogs. To Niedermeyer, now to the left wing. Duran down to the goal line. Low angle shot, missed. To the blue line, McKinley leaves it back for Niedermeyer. Working in, gives a pass up to Duran, off the stick, into the netting. The horn sounds, the time expires, and the Falcons complete a 5-1 win over Ferris State here in Game 4 of the season series, Game 2 of the weekend series. The first series sweep of the season in the year 2026. A big one for the Falcons to take 6 points toward the CCHA standings. That'll help their standing and certainly contribute toward their finish at the end of the season. They have Lake Superior State next weekend coming up before they head into a gauntlet of the top 5 teams in the CCHA to end the year. We'll come back for the Bill and Karen Hoffert stars of the game in just a little bit as we decide them. You're listening to Falcon Hockey here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
On September 17, 2025, BGSU volleyball swept the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, marking head coach Alex Del Piombo's first home win, leading the Falcons. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak had the call of the moment at the Stroh Center.
Anders to Otten to Hobson. Hobson throws it down. A 3-set sweep for Bowling Green and the 2025 home opener and the first home win for head coach Alex Del Piombo.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Check out bgfalconmedia.com for previews, recaps, photos, videos, and more of the Falcons.
Tonight's Stars of the Game presented by Bill and Karen Hoffert, longtime BGSU hockey fans and Falcon Club members. 3 stars of the game given out, starting with the 3rd star, Ty Higgins. His first career 3-point game, 3 assists today on the power play goal by Don Ryman, the power play goal by Jaden Grant, and an even strength goal by Quinn Emerson in the 3rd period. He had 3 assists on the game, is over a point per game scorer now through 4 games played this season. He's got 6 total assists, an impressive game for the rookie defenseman in just his 4th game played. Quinn Emerson had his first career 4-point game, a goal and 3 assists today. Assisted on Stjernberg's goal, assisted Dom Ryman's goal, assisted Jaden Grant's goal, and scored his own in the 3rd period. The Falcons scored 5 goals. The only one that he did not have a hand on was Ben Duran's power play goal to start the 2nd period. That was the only goal that Quinn Emerson did not touch today. And then Jacob Steinman, the first star of the game, a testament to how well the goalies have played the last couple of weeks. Steinman with 1 goal allowed and 18 saves today. Technically a better night than Cole Moore had yesterday. Moore also the first star of our Bill and Karen Hoffert stars of the game. Jacob Steinman the first star today, along with Emerson and Higgins, the other stars of the game. The Falcons take their 11th win of the season, 11-5-4 overall, and 8-3-3 in conference play. We'll send it now back to Gavin and Nathan in the Cooling Center studios. Gav and Nathan, thank you for board operating our today, and from the Evig Laban Ice Arena here in Big Rapids, we'll say so long here. You're listening to Falcon Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Peyton O'Malley with women's soccer here at BG, and my Falcon 4 pregame rituals is going to Trop, praying, singing songs in the locker room, and our mental prep on the field.
Childhood cancer it's a long road. It's hard, but St. Jude has gotten us through it. St. Jude is hope that you have a chance at life. And it goes such a long way for every child diagnosed with cancer because everything that's learned is shared all over the world. It's awesome.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
On Tuesday, September 24th, BGSU men's soccer recorded 40 shots against Eastern Illinois, the most in a match since 1996. This has been history in Falcon Athletics.
Ben Korak and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon hockey team throughout the season.
Back here in the Cooling Center for your conclusion post-game show of Bowling Green taking on Ferris State as the ends this series of the Falcons taking on the Bulldogs. The final score was 5-1. Going over who scored these 5 goals. If the computer wants to work with me, here it goes. Okay, so we have Dominic Ryman. He scored a goal. We also have Gustav
Stjernberg.
Thank you. Jaden Grant and Ben Duran. Wait, did I miss somebody?
And Quinn Emerson.
Quinn Emerson. I thought I missed somebody. No, we'll just keep that to myself. But Ty Higgins, as it was mentioned by Ben Korak earlier today, Quinn Emerson and Ty Higgins both having 3 assists on the day, leading the Falcons in assists. The only goal by a Bulldog today was Jack Messick. That was the only one. It was the only Bulldog to score a goal today. 40 shots compared to Ferris State's 19, where Bowling Green takes the edge there. 5 penalties in 10 minutes and 8 penalties in 16 minutes for Ferris State. The 5-10 was the Falcons. I guess, Burkett, I wasn't quite right. I was correct on the Falcons score with a 5-1 win. I did think the Ferris State would come out with another goal, but what was your final thoughts of this game as we get like we've talked about in the last couple intermissions, the meat and potatoes of CCHA play? What was your final thoughts of this game?
Very strong effort, solid game. They did take quite a few penalties, but they didn't seem to let, especially at the end, Ferris State, it felt like we're trying to take emotional penalties where they were cross-checking and just upset that they lost. So good for the Falcons to not kind of stoop down to the Ferris State level there and take additional penalties that they didn't need to when you already have a win, it felt like. Don't want to risk suspension in the meat and potatoes part of the season. And because of that, they're going to be moving up in the standings.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at, we brought it up earlier, the standings, everybody's super close. Before this game, before the rest of the CCHA games, which we'll go over in just a few minutes, I mean, Minnesota State sitting at top with 28 points, St. Thomas with 27 points, Augustana with 27, Bemidji with 25, Michigan Tech with 25, and Bowling Green with 24. Do you know what after today's game, how many points Bowling Green would have?
Bowling Green is going to go up to 27 points, which, quick update, Augustana was able to defeat Northern Michigan, so Augustana is now leading the CCHA, so with 30 points.
And also, another possible upset. Do we want to get into around college hockey?
We can do around college hockey.
Let's get into that real quickly. Around CCHA first. A possible upset. St. Thomas is over. I say upset because I just look at the standings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't know how these teams operate, but like when you look at the standings, this is just I'm a casual CCHA hockey watcher. But St. Thomas is over Minnesota State 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get they're like 1 and 2. So would you count that as an upset? Because
I wouldn't necessarily say upset. It's a surprise. To see Ferris State, and specifically, let me check who's in net for them. But to see, if I'm correct, Alex Tracy starting tonight for Minnesota State give up 4 goals because he never does that.
Especially 4-0. I feel like you don't really see that often.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily upset for the win, but the score line is definitely an upset.
I mean, they're only in the second period, and the third period could get absolutely crazy. But another CCHA game that's happening right now, Michigan Tech is over Bemidji State 4-2. And if you look at the points, Bemidji and Michigan Tech are currently tied. So today alone is going to shake the CCHA rankings, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, St. Thomas over Minnesota State, Bemidji over Michigan Tech, and then Augustana getting their victory today over Northern Michigan. It's really going to make next week really interesting whenever you look at the rankings. Around college hockey, taking another look at, we brought up earlier the upset of Ohio State over Michigan State, the number 2 ranked team in the country. Number 1 ranked team in the country, Michigan, is up over Notre Dame 5-3. So that is actually kind of a closer game. Mm-hmm. Notre Dame is not ranked. They are 227 in the second period right now. So if you're interested in college hockey, which I sure hope you are if you're listening to this broadcast, just do a quick Google search, try to find that game. I bet that's going to be I wouldn't say a barn burner, but definitely a good game to watch. I'm taking a look at any other games right now. There's nothing too crazy. Number 3 ranked Wisconsin beat Anchorage, Alaska, or is it Alaska, Anchorage?
Alaska, Anchorage.
3-2. Providence beat Maine. That's the only 2 ranked opponent happening today. Providence beat Maine 3-0. So if you look at college hockey as a whole, you're seeing a lot of the same. There's a couple upsets, but getting to the end of the season, I mean, everybody plays better in January and February. If I'm not, I mean, you really there's nothing else to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, college football is winding down. NFL's winding down. Get yourself into some college hockey.
Yep.
And these are some good games. But let's step back away from that. What do you want to see the Falcons improve on next week as they take on the
Superior
Lakers?
State.
Thank you. I knew it was the Lakers. I couldn't figure out who, but Superior State. What do you want to see them improve on, or do you think that they're pretty comfortable where they're at?
They can always get better, as Coach Foley always says, but I just want to see them do exactly kind of what they did this weekend. Lake Superior, based on how they've played this season, I've always kind of said that the CCHA this year, keep in mind there's 9 teams, is kind of split up where there's the top 6 teams, but they're all kind of like on their own level of skill, if you will. Then you drop down, take a step down is Lake Superior. They're kind of on their very own. And then you have another step down. That's Ferris State and Northern Michigan, based on just how they've played throughout the season.
Yeah.
So while Lake Superior, they're a step up from Ferris State and Northern Michigan, they're still, in my opinion, based on how they've played this year, a step down for the Falcons. So you got to claim all 6 points from that. Give you a chance to move up in the standings. Also, you swept them earlier in the season, or you swept their weekend sweep when you went to Sault Ste. Marie. That was actually their first CCHA conference opponent this year. So a chance to, just like this weekend, get a season sweep. Next weekend, the Falcons will have the opportunity to get their second season sweep. So you need to get all 6 points there, in my opinion.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this post-game show of the coverage of the Falcons taking on the Bulldogs, 5-1 final score, let's take a look in Falcon Athletics. Now, we don't have who's covering them yet because we will be figuring those out on Monday as Falcon Media Sports Network finally gets back together after a month and a half of us not all seeing each other. I'm going to be excited to see everybody as we decipher who's going to be going where. But let's take a look at some games that are happening next week. On January 14th, that is a Wednesday, women's basketball will be heading to Kalamazoo, Michigan to take on the Broncos. That tip-off will be at 7 p.m. I don't know what broadcast. I would assume that's on WBGU.
When is that?
It's a Wednesday, 7 p.m.
That's probably going to be WBGU.
So that would be WBGU, I would assume. Now, make sure to head over to bgfalconmedia.com to stay up to date if I am wrong on any of these games. Other games that are happening, so we have that 14th game on Wednesday. That is women's basketball. On Friday, February 16th, we have women's swim and women's track and field. The women's swim will be taking on Ohio University in Athens. The women's track and field will be taking on Central Michigan in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com for recaps of those events. As well as we teased it earlier, Lake Superior State will be coming to Bowling Green as Bowling Green comes back home to the Slater Family Ice Arena. That puck drop is at 7:07. That will be on WBGU 88.1, your home for Falcon hockey. Don't know who's going to be calling that game quite yet. We will get that ironed out this week. And then this Saturday, we have a heavy Bowling Green Athletics Day. Women's swim against DeQuez University. And then also women's swim will be taking on Marshall University, both in Huntington, West Virginia. Men's basketball will be home at the Stro, taking on Eastern Michigan at 1 p.m. tip-off. Make sure to tune in about 30 minutes before the broadcast to get your pregame show. Women's basketball will also be at the Stro that day on the 17th, Saturday, taking on Miami of Ohio. That tip-off will be at 4 p.m. in the Stro. Tune in 30 minutes before the broadcast or before tip-off to listen to your pregame show. And finally, to wrap up that week, it will be the second game of the Lake Superior State Series at home, Slater Family Ice Arena, 7:07 puck drop, Saturday, January 17th. There's a lot of sevens that I just said. But a very busy weekend as students come back to Bowling Green Very exciting weekend. If you are a Bowling Green student, you can literally you can game hop. You can go take your first game for men's basketball at the Stro. Then you can go to your women's basketball, support your Falcons there at 4 p.m. at the Stro, and then wrapping up your evening on a Saturday night. Where else would you rather be but the Slater Family Ice Arena? I think that's going to do it for us. Nathan, you got anything else you want to preach out? No?
I'm good.
I think that's going to do it for us on WBGU 88.1. I am Gavin Gill, joined with Nathan Burkett. I'd like to thank Ben Korak, heading up to Big Rapids, Michigan, for this matchup between the Falcons and the Bulldogs. You're listening to 88.1 WBGU, your home for Falcon hockey.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.